Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Today is obviously not our usual day for streaming. If you are behind on any of the things that we have plastered across all of social media, we are streaming today to start what is technically the world premiere of a brand new TTRPG system written by our own Mallory, called Memory Lane. And the campaign we are starting is called Everyone's Forgotten. I just want to thank everybody again for following. Cole, thank you for subscribing. I'm going to say it every time. Bless you. Damn it, Cole, bless you. And you even paid for it. We checked. We did all of the checking. So you're absolutely ridiculous and I love you. But we will, just a couple housekeeping things before I hand it over to Mallory. We will be dark this Thursday. Obviously, it's Thanksgiving for anyone in the USA. If you're outside the USA, mainly any of our Canadian friends, you have a lie of a Thanksgiving that is in a different month. So, but yes, so we will be dark for Thanksgiving, and then we will be back again on Monday with another episode of Everyone's Forgotten, and then we will be back that Thursday with Descent into Avernus. Oh, I need to turn Adele down. She's getting a little loud. Sorry, Henry was upset, so we turned Adele on upstairs, and he calmed down. He's got some good taste. What can I say? I raised him right. All right. Usual warnings. This is a spicy channel. We're gonna drop a lot of. I'm gonna drop a lot of cursing, mostly f-bombs, probably. But also, as Mal will explain, we will be dealing with some sensitive content during this campaign. I'm going to let her explain all of that to you. But if that is too much for you, or a little too spicy, or a little too heavy, we totally understand. You can join us on Thursdays. It's still spicy, but it's not nearly as heavy. But just wanted to give that warning out now. So I am going to start us off with the lovely trailer, also made by Mal, including all of these overlays. Everything was made by Mal. I wish I could have helped more than I did, but I didn't. So here we go. Here is the trailer for Everyone's Forgotten.
Hi, that's my face. Hello. Um, so like Kylie said, this is all a system that I made. This is all a campaign that I wrote. And it's kind of wild that we're actually doing this. What have I done? Okay, sorry, I thought I broke something. So Memory Lane is a system that uses memory as a mechanic to move story along. Everything else is very similar. You have 6 stat blocks. You've got force, finesse, learn, logic, vibes, and character. How well you know how to use those is shown by a dice that you roll, so you can have d4 through d12 for any of those. And see, thank you, Jenna. I know that there's an echo and we can't figure out how to fix it. So I'm gonna let Kylie keep fixing that. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you so much, Jenna. So Oh, okay, that's how. So the way that works is you've got D4 through D12. That determines how well you do in that stat, and then these characters have modifiers for certain skills that help improve certain aspects within that. So underneath finesse, there's agility, trickery, and sneak. So it's very possible that Drew's character, who you will meet momentarily, has, I believe it's like a +5 in sneak. It's something absolutely ridiculous. But he gets those through lessons and pessimims, which we'll talk more about as we get into the game. But essentially, I will set the DC. They will have to meet or beat that in order to get what they would like to happen. And that is essentially how the game is played. Also, for memories, which are clearly what move the story along the most, they are allowed to ask for that at any time, as well as I am. So if we go into a situation and they observe something that might trigger a memory for them, I will ask for a memory check. If they can beat a 20, they're allowed to have that full memory. If they succeed but do not beat a 20, they get a snippet, a feeling, something to that effect, and hopefully further along we can get that full memory for them to move the story along. But yeah, it's sort of complicated when you just explain it like that, but hopefully it'll make a bit more sense as we go through the game. There is a warning for this campaign. Everyone's forgotten. It can be very heavy emotionally. It can also have some gore and things of that nature inside of it. If you are not up to hearing or seeing that, that's totally cool, and we fully understand. We hope you join us on Thursdays for Descent in Avernus, which is much less that. But if that is your cup of tea, hopefully you enjoy. And just to keep things short and sweet, I'll go ahead and bring the 3 of them in, and we'll see what we can get started here. Hi, my hometown heroes. Yes, that's what I'm calling you. Yes, you get to deal with it. I did not ask you all about that beforehand, but that's what I've decided is happening.
I'm gonna have control on my mic so that way it won't pick you up. So I'll yeah.
We just have to figure out how to make that stop happening, because I don't know why your microphone hates me.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Out.
We got time.
Right. But these lovely people. So before we start, go ahead and give me your real life name, and also the name of the character you're playing. But don't worry about descriptions. We will get to those momentarily when we start. And we're going to start with Ryan, because he's on my left.
Fair enough. I'm Ryan. You gave the game away. And I'm playing Calvin Fox.
My
and
name.
That's a cat.
My name is Kylie Eberhard. Some of you may know me as Viking Mermaid. And I'm going to be playing Quinn Lawson.
My name is Drew Beasley, and I'll be playing Tom Weaver.
Might I just say, all your names give me such joy. I got them at very spaced out times. Like, I got a random text from Drew at like 1 a.m. that was like, "Hi, my name is Tom," and I was like, "Sure."
Yeah.
Sounds wonderful.
It is totally okay that you only know me as Viking Mermaid. A lot of people only know me as Viking Mermaid. You are totally fine.
No, you're totally good. I'm not gonna lie to you. For most of the time, most people just know me as Moxie. So this might be the first time some people know that my name is not Moxie, but that's also fine. So just to go ahead and set the scene, we're gonna get the ball rolling here. But instead of putting you all together in a tavern, which I've already been asked if that's what's happening. The answer is no.
The bar.
Yes, it's absolutely. This is a modern day setting, Drew. Obviously, I'm starting all three of you in a bar to meet. Duh. No. Oh, hi, Jaren. Thanks for stopping in. We are going to start in a little bit of a different way than how we started Descent into Avernus, because I decided to change things up a little bit. Get in a TJ Maxx. Fantastic. I should have thought of that.
That's the only place Quinn shops is TJ Maxx.
I fully believe that.
She's a Maxinista.
There is something making a noise, and I can't tell what it is. And I'm afraid something's either going to blow up or break. What's happening?
I don't hear anything.
No, it's on my desk.
I am mistress of the F-bomb. How did I even miss that one?
Okay.
Thank you, Z-bomb.
I got it. I'm so sorry. Okay. So now we'll start, now that I've learned that my ring light's not going to blow up. It was just hitting against something really hard. Okay. So we are going to start. Our camera pans over a very dark, desolate town. Perfectly small, quaint. The things you see in movies that take place only in small towns. But the thing about this is that the whole world seems gray. Not like the buildings are painted gray, not like there is no real color, but like sadness just lives here. And as we pan over this town, we settle in on a small house that seems pretty nondescript. It looks like every other house in this tiny neighborhood. And in bed, we see a man in shorts and a tank top covered in tattoos. And so, Drew, will you please describe your character for us?
All right, so I'm Tom Weaver. I'm just laying in bed, probably about to roll over and light my morning cigarette and just chill out for a little bit. As she said, I am covered in tattoos, most of which I've been trying to figure out what a lot of them mean. Honestly, some I think I have an idea, but yeah, who can tell?
Well, you're not quite ready to wake up yet, although you roll over and see that it's about 3 a.m. So as soon as you fall back asleep, you find yourself in a dark abyss, just standing in the middle of nothing. The world is black, and it seems like there is no light at all until suddenly you hear a thud to your right. And then a thud behind you, and another to your left. And they start to get faster and faster, and then start overlapping each other. Like there is no stopping whatever seems to be raining from above. And then you see light. One pinprick of light, super far away from you. And right at that light, you see a face of a figure. Ryan, would you please describe your character for us? Your music.
Calvin is, yep, I figured it. A man about 28-ish, like late 20s, clean cut, wearing small like box frame glasses, wearing a white shirt and a thin black tie, standing there with a clear face. His hair's like a dark red and cut short. Let's see. I don't suppose he knows much of what's going on either.
I do not think he does, but I would like to ask, do you think you would know Tom?
Yeah, possibly.
Well,
At least have seen him around. He seems like the sort of person I might have met before.
I'm about town doing all sorts of things.
I would say so. So you all spot each other from very far away. It is not exactly easy to figure out who the other is, but after a minute you can figure out oh, thank you, Jenna. That is the best tip because I had no clue. I barely know how to use Twitch. But as you two see each other, it's very hard to recognize what the other person is maybe doing there. And Calvin, you hear the thuds too. They get faster and harder and louder. What would you two like to do in this moment?
So all we can see is each other, right?
All you can see is each other. Everything else is pitch
Everything else
black.
is dark.
Mhm.
I wave. I try to get Calvin's attention.
I'll wave back and start moving that direction if I can move.
You absolutely
If
can.
all I can see is, yeah.
Yeah, you can absolutely move. You move as fast as you can down towards Tom, but the issue is that the length between you just seems to grow. The faster you walk, it's almost like everything is stretching in between you two.
I see him. I start running because I see him moving, really not making any headway.
The same happens with you. Everything just starts to stretch. The space between you two never gets smaller, but it also doesn't technically get bigger. It's just like you're stuck where you are. And all of a sudden, there is a huge flash of light, and fire erupts all around the edges of sort of how far you can see. And you can see that the things that have been landing and thudding all around you are bodies. And as soon as you make that realization, you wake up.
I definitely reach over for a cigarette then.
You feel free to have that cigarette. You take your cigarette, light it, and you check to see your room is exactly how you left it. Nightstand, lamp, and your phone buzzes on your nightstand.
Oh, fucking Teddy. I put the lighter down, I pick up the phone, and I see if it's him.
It is Teddy.
Oh, god damn it. What does he want?
It's about 5:30 from the clock on your phone, and there's a text message from Teddy that says, meeting is changed. Still go to BB. Someone will meet you there, just not me.
Can I know who?
He doesn't respond.
Ah, son of a bitch. Okay, I finally light my cigarette and then just like scroll through like whatever local newspaper has an app.
Fantastic. You don't see too much fluff pieces, a lot of it. Stuff about just like events in town, the carnival that might come in. You feel like they've run that article before in the past couple months, but you don't
I
remember a
screenshot it.
carnival. Yeah.
I screenshot it and put a star next to it.
Okay. And then you just see, like the chili cook-off in town and like just the very traditional small town things that happen. But other than that, there is nothing interesting or very out of the ordinary.
All right, I roll out of bed, get some coffee, and then get ready to start making my rounds about town.
Fantastic. And as you do that, we're going to go ahead and pop over to Ryan. So, Calvin, what happens with you when you wake up from this?
I sit and kind of process this for a second and reach over to the nightstand out of like an old habit to try to pick something up, but it's not there, and I just shake my head.
It's also about 5:30 for you. The room where you're sleeping is obviously very dark, but there is light coming from your alarm clock. and also from your phone.
I suppose I'll pick it up, set a timer, and go try to take a shower and wake up. That's not the sort of thing you fall back asleep from.
Very fair. On your phone, as you're setting your timer, you see a message from Paul. It's your group chat. Paul is the priest that you've been studying under, and he's got a group chat with you and a couple other priests in training. That's basically just reminding you of a meeting that you all have this evening to go over some things. It seems pretty non-eventful, just the sort of thing he would normally send out.
If there's a time in it.
Yep, it is going to be
Okay.
at 7 o'clock that night at the church.
Okay, I'll shoot off a quick. I'll be there.
There you go. So you send that off. It definitely seems like you're the second one awake of the morning after Paul. The other two haven't responded in any way yet. He sent this an hour ago. He just doesn't sleep for some reason. And then you can head off to go take a shower, get ready for your day. Yeah, it seems like a pretty uneventful morning compared to what you just picked up from. And with that, we're going to pop over to the only person we haven't met yet. So Quinn, please introduce yourself.
My name is Quinn Lawson. Should I give my occupation?
I can absolutely give your occupation if you would like.
Okay. Quinn is a private detective. She is always very put together. She's almost always in, a blazer and a skirt or some kind of suit. She's very clean cut. And she has kind of a contract going with the police force. So anytime they have something that they're just a little too busy to handle, they will pass it her way. Lost pet, things along those lines that they don't deem very important, they will pass along her way. Every once in a while she has someone from the public come to her as a private detective, but for the most part she makes her living helping out the police department. She is in her mid-30s. She's she's tall and slim. I'll give her a height of 5'9". Why not? That's how tall I am. She's very tall and very slim. And I don't know. Is there anything else I should be?
Not that I can think of. I'm sure there will be plenty that we hit along the way.
Okay. All right. That's all I've got right now. She does have an office outside of her home. She has an office in her home, but she has a specific office that she works out of.
Yes. So right now at let's say it's 5:30 in the morning. Would you be at home or would you be at your other office?
Depends on what happened the day before.
Yesterday seemed pretty uneventful. There weren't really any calls from the police department for you to help with. You didn't even really hear from Riley, your brother. So you were pretty much left to your own devices for the day.
Did I have a research night?
I would say you probably did, considering you were alone.
Okay. I will say that she probably is at home, since that's where she does most of her research, so she will be at home.
That sounds lovely. So on this fine morning, where you're up entirely too early because you probably stayed up till 2 a.m. anyway, you get your coffee, you get ready for the day. Is there anything that you would like to check before you check in and sort of see if you have anything for the day?
I am going to look at my phone to the news to see if there's anything, again, that may stand out. And I'm trying to be cryptic without without being too cryptic. Anything that may raise suspicion. And then her first thing after she's made her own coffee is she's going to go to her normal coffee shop she stops at and grab a coffee for Riley before she heads to go bother him.
That sounds wonderful. So you go ahead and scroll through the news. You see about the same stuff that Tom saw. Carnival that may come through town, but you know that you've seen that article before. There's never a carnival, so you're not quite sure why it's ever there. But nothing else seems interesting at all. You know, the same small town stuff. There is a picture of Riley in the paper, or the digital version rather, that just says that he's been doing a great job on the force, you know, that Riley is such an upstanding officer, the picture of the perfect policeman, essentially.
I will obviously save that article.
Yes.
Yes. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check my second phone.
Yep. Your second phone has nothing super new on it. There is a message that you had gotten a few nights ago that just has like what looks like coordinates, but there is no explanation. There's not even a number that it came from.
I have a map of the city.
I would say that's possible, yes.
Can I compare? I'm assuming that's probably what I was researching. Can I compare the coordinates to the map of the city I have?
You absolutely can. The coordinates that you have lead, or rather, would be located in a building that, for what you know, is abandoned. It used to be a toy store way back in the day, but once the toy store went out of business, nobody ever put anything there.
Okay. I am going to put that on my list of places to visit today, just to kind of take a look at.
That sounds lovely. And with that, you are off to coffee. Okay. So you leave and go get coffee. And as you are approaching, you can walk to the coffee shop from your house. You live very close. And to be fair, pretty much everything is within walking distance in Grimsbie. It's not big enough to warrant like a lot of traffic or anything like that. The neighborhood where most of the houses are located, minus the sort of bed and breakfast that was turned into apartments, are all fairly close to downtown. And if you walk down Blackwood Avenue, which would be the main road, you can get to Bella's within 5-10 minutes. So when you get there, you walk in, there's the jingling of the bell that's attached to the door, and without even turning around, you see Bella behind the counter. She's beautiful, tall, probably like 5'10", 5'11", darker skin tone. She always seems to wear like a white dress with her Bella's bruised blue apron over top of it. Her dreads are piled in like this really high bun, and without even turning around every single time, Quinn Lawson, your coffee's already ready. You're late.
I know. I was running behind. Riley got another commendation in the newspaper, so I had to read about it.
Of course he did. I love your darling brother.
He is what he is.
We all got sibling problems. I know how it goes, darling.
Twins are a pain.
She's got like this perfect Southern accent that just works for her, even though no one else in town has one. So you have no idea how she does. But she pulls out a coffee for you, a coffee for Riley, and then also a like small to-go box that's got just your name written on the top of it. And she goes, "Here's one for you, one for him. They're extras from this morning. Don't worry about it."
Thank you, Bella. You always
You're
take
very-
care of me.
You're very welcome, doll. And then she starts yelling to Mario, who is one of her like boys that runs back and forth for her to get things. That she needs more stuff up front, and you just see a boy kind of like nod and run off to the back. And as you're doing that, I believe we have some other people that are going to join us in a coffee shop. Tom, don't you have a meeting?
Yeah, so Tom's walking around the corner. He's got his coat on, long hair kind of pulled back, got a cap on, trying to look slightly unrecognizable, but still like a little recognizable and like as intimidating as someone who looks like me could look doing what I do.
As you walk in the door, you hear the same thing. Bella has turned back around. She's making more coffees for people, but she knows it's you the minute you walk in the door. And she turns around again, has your coffee in hand. "Good morning, Tom."
Morning, thanks.
Very welcome, honey. By the way, somebody left something on the table for you over in the corner by the window.
Oh, okay, thank you. I go check it out.
Yeah, very welcome, darling. And you go over to this table, and there is just a folded up piece of paper kind of half out underneath the napkin dispenser, like somebody had like put it on there to make sure it wouldn't move. I'm assuming you would like to look at that.
Yeah, I open it up.
It is a just 8.5 by 11 sort of sheet of paper. You can see like there are crease lines in it. There's a coffee stain on it. Somebody like clearly sat their coffee on it at one point and it left the ring. But it is a drawn out map of the town. It's hand drawn. It has every building. The name of every street is like kind of just scrawled on there haphazardly, but it's there. You can tell what everything is. And over in the corner, you just see a tiny note scrawled that just says, "I hope this helps, Maya."
I put it in my jacket and book it and call Teddy.
Yeah, sure. So you walk just like right outside the front door, and you dial Teddy on your phone. Go ahead, and we're gonna make this a luck thing. Roll a d10 for me. On the upper half, Teddy answers, and on the lower half, Teddy does not.
Could
Okay.
I do an observation check on
5.
that whole experience?
Teddy will pick up the phone, and yes, you absolutely may. And as soon as we absolve this roll, we'll have a nice conversation with Teddy.
I got an 8.
Yeah, that'll totally work.
But
Oh, so
I do have my what did we come up with? Speed reader?
Oh yes, you get a free document in any location that you're in. That's fair. Okay, so you absolutely clock that's the full map of town. Everything is just like drawn out. The lakes are even colored in blue, so you can tell what parts are the lake, like what parts are the forest and all that. And you can see the note in the corner that this map is from Maya.
Do I see anything that's different than what is on my map, or does it look essentially the same?
There is a building. So like on the right side of the map, yours included, you would be able to see the Capitol building. It's really large. Like there's like a golden maroon, like gilded roof. It's very fancy. It's pretty much something anybody in town can see from anywhere. But on the map that Maya has drawn, there's a small building behind the Capitol that almost looks like it would be hidden by the Capitol building from most angles in town. but that possibly from a certain vantage point, you would be able to see this building in real life.
Okay. I'll just make a mental note on that one. I won't pull out my notebook, but I'll make a mental note on my places to check, aside from the toy store, that I need to check around the Capitol building at some point.
Fantastic. Tom, out on the street, you call Teddy. After a few rings, you hear a very strong yawn. Like Teddy is just now seeing daylight at about 11. And he goes, "What's up, Tom?
So, didn't know I was meeting with a note.
You're
At an
not
empty
meeting with a
table.
note. She's gonna be there. God. It's only 11. Who gets coffee at 11? Coffee is a noon drink."
I'd hate to hear what your nightcap is. Jesus Christ, Teddy.
Look, we can't all have beautiful sleep schedules like the rest of you.
I do this
So-
because I have to. Okay, not because I want to.
Well, that's very unfortunate. Work nights. It's a beautiful thing. Now, just like wait for her to get there. Although it's really impressive to me that she already got the note there. She must have been up early. Why did she do that? Why do people do that? Oh, God. Can I please go back to sleep? Please.
Jesus Christ, it's 11, Teddy.
And I went to sleep at 6.
And maybe we should have a fucking coffee too. Jesus.
I'll get one at noon. That's it. Coffee is a noon drink.
All right then, fucking see you later.
Okay, see you later. Bye.
Check on
Mom.
the shit.
I will. And with that, he hangs up.
All
And
right.
we imagine that he goes back to bed. So he's told you to wait. What is your plan?
I go in, grab a muffin, sit down and hang out for a bit.
Okay, that's beautiful. Belle obviously knows your favorite muffin because she knows everything about everybody. Actually, Calvin, are you also planning to stop and get coffee?
Yes, very much so.
Beautiful. Then we'll go ahead and let you get here for coffee before I ask for this roll. Bell chimes, and as per usual, Bella knows all. She just pulls out a scone and your favorite coffee. She sets it on the counter, and before you can even get to the counter, she yells at Mario to come bring it to you. So she's just like bustling about, hurrying up everything, and goes, "Mario, table!" And he just quickly snatches it up and places it on the closest table to you.
I'll come in and see that it's mine and sit down and just start munching. No questions.
Mario just sort of nods at you and just goes back to the kitchen. He's a man of very few words. And with that, would everybody please give me an observation check?
Sure.
I got a 0's a 10 on the D10s, right?
Yes.
Okay, I got that plus
Uh-oh.
2.
I got
Beautiful.
an
So that's a 12. 11. We're coming up with some beautiful
12.
numbers.
Hey, guess what? I got our first one.
Okay, so you can see nothing. past
Calvin
this
is
scone that
really
you're
into
stuffing
that
down your throat.
scone. Like,
Yeah.
he is into that scone.
It's just like
I do
literally-
fucks with a scone.
This scone is the only thing that matters to you. Nothing else could possibly matter in the world. You two, though, you obviously come into Bella's all the time. It's a beautiful brick building. There's art up on the walls. But the one thing that is different about Bella's from probably any coffee shop you've ever been to in real life or in game is that at about eye level, all over all of the walls, there are Polaroids. It's 3 rows, and in every Polaroid, there is a different customer that comes into this coffee shop, and underneath it is their coffee order. And you would know, I won't make you make the extra roll for this. You would know that that's because when people lose their memory, they don't know what to come in and order. So Bella has crafted it to where you just have to find what you look like.
That's extremely clever.
So
I like that a lot.
You can all see each other's faces on this wall, and obviously your own, and whatever is in front of you is what's written on your card, or on your Polaroid, rather. So you kind of look through these, and they each kind of have your name in a tiny font. With an 11 and a 12, since you both know the name Maya now, you would easily be able to spot that there is a girl on a Polaroid. It's the only Maya in the entire building. She seems to be a bit on the shorter side from what you can see. A super long black hair all the way down to her waist. She's got the money pieces in the front that are bright blue. And she's wearing a beanie and just sort of like has a backpack on, and has a septum piercing.
I didn't know that had a name.
What, a money piece?
They're called money pieces?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a money piece.
I don't know what that's referring to.
It's just like the very front pieces of your hair, like right that are framing your face. It's when you get those colored. But like everything else is like the same.
That blows my mind
Neat.
that they have a name for that. Okay. All right. I'm going
I
to
learned something today.
muting my mic.
Y'all, this show is just as educational as anything else.
Fucking Gen Z and all their fucking terms for shit. I don't know what's going on.
Look, I'm
Don't
in the
do that.
middle. I'm not a Gen
Don't-
Z.
Don't do it. Don't fall into the age thing.
I am not
Resist.
a Gen
We're
Z.
old. We're old, man. Don't even
Go
joke.
quietly into that good night.
I would just like to reiterate, I am not a Gen Z. I am a Zillennial. We have a whole Facebook group about.
I know, but you are almost 10 years younger than
Dozens of us.
I am.
Almost.
I am younger than all of you. But anyway, so you see this Polaroid of Maya. And a few minutes later, Maya seems to walk into the coffee shop, along with a lot of other people. It's getting very busy the closer you get to noon, which makes you think Teddy may have been right that coffee is a noon drink. It seems really weird, but yeah, it's like people just keep coming in, and Bella's like handing out coffees left and right, and even to one person goes, "Hey, your noon coffee, here you go." Like, she's very nonchalant about how late people are starting to get coffee on a Tuesday of all days. But as the
Tuesdays
rooms,
are the worst day.
Tuesdays are the worst day, and noon coffee is great on a Tuesday. Let
Noon
me tell
coffee
you.
has to be amazing on a Tuesday because Tuesday is the absolute worst day.
Correct. So people start to flood in to this room. Calvin and Tom, go ahead and make another observation check for me.
That's a 4.
We'll take it.
Have that.
2.
I got a 2. Yep.
How did you get
Hey,
a 2?
you're gonna get there eventually.
I would just like to remind
You're
you,
doing such
you
a good
get a
job.
+2 to all observation rolls. All of
Oh, okay.
you
Then
do.
before it was a 3, and then now it's a 4.
Literally,
I didn't see that part.
it is a rule
I
of
did
the
it.
system that everybody gets a +2 to all common knowledge and observation checks. Every
I
last-
literally doubled my roll.
Well, then great. 4s for both of you sounds lovely. You two scanning all these faces, you slightly recognize some of them, not in a way of like, oh, hi, I know you, but in a way of, I had a nightmare at 3 o'clock this morning and your face happened to be in it. You recognize some of these people as the bodies that were falling around you before the place erupted into fire.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh shit.
So as the place fills up, you all just continue to eat and drink and all of that. When Maya walks up to you, Tom, I'm assuming you got my note because it's not there anymore.
Oh, you mean this? Have a seat.
She'll pull out the seat, like the chair across from you, and sit down. So is there a reason you need a map of the whole city that you live in?
Sometimes it's good to know, how to get around.
She glances down at your chest, where your pin sits, and obviously this isn't something you think about every day. You don't need to put it on. It just happens to be there when you wake up every morning. No one's super sure how. But you look down and she has the same. She can look and see that yours is pink, which you obviously would know that this means in the last 6 months you were reset. Your memory was wiped due to something you witnessed, although you would never know what. You look down and you see that hers is blue, which you would indicate that she has made it longer than 6 months, but somewhere shorter than a year.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to remember your way around town.
Yeah, it helps.
The thing is that she has no way of knowing whether you got a pink pin yesterday or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
You would know that it was much closer to 5 months ago.
Mhm.
Your pin will turn blue in the next few weeks. Again, completely of its own accord. You have no idea why, but she just kind of glances down at her own and goes, "Yeah, I'm here to help. Like if you need the help, Teddy asked, and that's why I made you that. Sorry about the coffee stain, by the way. Mario was bringing me my drink and he like just wasn't paying attention where he put it. And
Don't worry, he was gonna get one anyway.
yeah, that's fair. Do you have like questions about it? Do you need help navigating more than a map? Like I'm happy to help, and like you've seen me around. Like I normally just sit in the corner and paint all day because I work in the evenings, so
But yeah, I was just gonna walk around and just put names with places or faces, I guess.
okay, cool. If you need me, I'll be over there. And she just sort of points to a corner. She's got like a whole table that she sort of put out like a pad on, and there are paints to the side and things like that. And you can tell that she normally like gets her water cup and like coffee when she comes in. You can see 2 cups, but like on the side of one is like scrawled in really big letters like "do not drink." Probably so she doesn't accidentally drink paint water.
Mhm.
And she just kind of like nods and looks at you and starts to head back when all of you hear a gigantic bang behind you.
Coming from behind me.
Like outside of the coffee shop?
No, like the back of the coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you too?
Yeah, I jumped the counter.
Cool.
A bang, like an explosion or like a really loud door?
Yeah, like an
What?
explosion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna not necessarily jump the counter, but like if I will, if there's not a quicker way. But yeah, to get around to get toward the kitchen to make sure no one is like dead.
So you all head towards the counter. I will let you get over the counter when the doors to the kitchen, sort of, they're the ones that swing. They're just pushed through. You can see Mario, and he's got like burns on his body, like across his shoulder. His shirt is still smoldering, like something happened back there. And within seconds, there is literally no one has pulled out a cell phone. Nothing has happened. You see what looks like probably 8 to 10 guys wearing all white have all busted through the front door.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
Are they armed? Are they?
Are there any police officers, or are
Lot of
they just...
Everybody, if you would like to give me either observation or common knowledge, or I'll even take history, whatever's best for you.
Okay.
That's an 8 on observation.
Okay.
I got a 7 observation.
Okay.
8 on common knowledge.
Okay. So, Calvin, you would know these are tag teamers. Tag teamers are government officials that are sent to clean up things. Something very bad has happened in that kitchen, and even though you have not observed what that is yet, it is bad enough for them to send in a cleanup crew, which normally means death has happened in some sort of capacity. Meanwhile, the walls that sort of divide the kitchen from the front of the shop, they feel very hot. You can see some flames on the other side of the door that Mario has just busted through. Things are happening very quickly and everything is on fire. For those that did observation, tag teamers, there are definitely 8 to 10 of them within the shop. Now there is a window that lets you see out onto the street. You can see at least 5 more through that window. They are all fairly tall, they all seem fairly built, and they all seem fairly like they could punch somebody in the face very easily. They definitely have packs on the inside of like their jackets. So like what they're wearing is like an all white get up, but it's pants and a shirt and a jacket over top of it. Underneath that jacket, you can see a gray pack that's like almost like a fanny pack, but like way more secured to your body and a little bit bigger. You can see one guy reaching for his pack. Calvin would know, at least, if not all of you, that within those packs are syringes, and things are about to get very bad very quickly. And with that, we have entered our very first Fates assignment. So if everybody will roll initiative for me, I will explain what Fates assignment is. So Fates assignment is essentially an event that does not directly mean you have to be violent in any way. There are multiple ways to get out of it. There are multiple ways to end it. But that way that you would like that to happen must be chosen by you all. You can choose alone or as a group. If one of you really feels like the group's not doing the right thing, feel free to strike out on your own. You have a set amount of rounds to complete this in. Or I get to decide how this ends. So I would suggest working as quickly as possible. For your initiative roll, that is a D20 roll. Do you add anything to that? I shouldn't ask that. I made this, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
I'm looking at the page. Can add any modifier
Yes.
we choose
You
as
can-
long as it can be
By
justified.
justify.
Yes, if you would like to justify a modifier to me, that is perfectly fine. But first, NPCs and enemies roll. In this case, your enemies are going to be tag teamers. So I will roll for tag teamers. I will also roll for Maya. Maya will act as your ally in this. Because obviously she would like to not be taken either. And she also rushed towards the back of the coffee shop when everything went down. After I do that, you all are free. I will ask you one by one. If you would like to try to justify to me, perfectly fine. We'll do a quick 30 seconds. I'll say yay or nay. You get to add it or you don't get to add it. Good to note though, you cannot use that to get ahead of your allies. So you cannot use that to get ahead of each other or ahead of Maya, but you can use it to get ahead of tag teamers in this case. So let's see. Well, tag teamers got a 3, so they kind of suck anyway. Maya got a 4. Maybe my new dice are just crap. Who knows? But let's start with Quinn.
I rolled a 15.
Okay, so you don't need to add anything.
No,
Because
I was going to argue that I was going to add an observation modifier to see if I could find an exit to slip out the back.
Well, first we will get everybody's initiative, and then we'll let you
Okay.
all make
All
a
right.
choice as a team what you would like to do, or as individuals. Who knows? So Calvin, what'd you get?
14.
Perfect. And Tom?
15.
Lovely. Okay, so you all, let's see, you all tied. Let's do finesse. Whichever one of you has the higher finesse, which I believe is Tom.
I have a D6.
D12.
It's not me.
Yeah, I was about to say. So Tom, and then Quinn, and then Calvin, and then Maya, and then tag teamers. That is your order for this. Now, what would you all like to do? You will have 5 rounds. A round consists of everyone having a turn. So you have 5 rounds to do whatever you feel is necessary to get out of this situation. Now, that can be a lot of things. You can also stop and do little things if you feel you have extra rounds. But at the end of 5 rounds, you have to have accomplished your goal, or I get to narrate what happens.
I mean, we should try to leave, right? Like, persuading them is obviously not going to work.
I'm already behind the counter and looking straight through that open kitchen door, about to sprint right through it. That's the instinct that Tom's having right now. But you said you came around the counter as well, Calvin, right?
Yeah.
I look over at you and and have the immediate, I saw you literally hours ago in my dream. And I'm like, did you see me too?
Yes. Yes, I did.
We need to get the fuck out of here, right?
Yes, we do. You running?
I'm about to just run out of here, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, Tom, you get to go first. So if your all's end goal is to get out of Dodge, I would advise you to do something to work toward that.
Yeah, staying low, I'm going to run through the swung open kitchen doors.
Okay, so you're going to sprint past Mario, who is at this point kind of like holding them open. He's like he almost seems like he's in shock with what just happened.
And he's still like on fire?
He's not like on fire, but he's very clearly got burns right through his chest, through his shoulder. His shirt is singed and like open where the flames were, but it seems like something put him out. Something or someone. But as you,
so I'm not going to worry about that too much. I was going to try to put him out before I went through there, but okay, I'm going to still stay low and let him be a distraction, I guess.
Yeah, so you duck kind of under Mario's arm and just start going through the kitchen, and you see what happened. One of the machines, like one of the coffee machines that was by an oven, exploded. And it caused the oven to then explode, and there was sort of just a chain reaction through all of these things that were in the kitchen. Lots of counter space seems to be on fire. The walls are up in flames. There's smoke everywhere, and you can see 2 bodies on the floor. They're both very badly burnt, still currently burning. A girl, probably early 20s, blonde hair, just kind of singed, and she's staring off at a wall behind you. The other person back there looks very, very alarmingly like Mario. Maybe a brother or something to that effect, but it looks very similar. And he has burns across his face. One eye has been burned, the other just stares and sort of meets your gaze as you see these 2 bodies as you sprint through the room. With your movement, you can probably get like halfway through the room.
Fuck. Okay, I grab one, you grab the other. We need to get these people outside. Shit.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, so next to go is Quinn.
I'm going to say that I didn't make it all the way over the counter. I'll say that because I'm assuming there's a door to get to the back.
There's like doors that lead through the kitchen, and through what Mario has held open, you can see towards the very back of the kitchen, there's another set of doors that just say employees only.
Yeah, okay. So, the first thing she's gonna do is she is going to and if this is me retconning too much, tell me. Okay. I like to think she posts up at the like counter seating, if there is counter seating, and that's where she sits and reads her book.
Yes, no, that seems very appropriate to me.
So all of her stuff is already on the counter.
Yeah.
She has already finished her coffee. She is going to take all of that with her.
Okay.
And then she is going to try and see if there's a back door, even if that means going through the employees only door, if she can kind of I'm sure there's a bunch of chaos right now. If she can
Yeah.
kind of weave through that to get to that employees only door to get out the bag.
I would say that, so the employees only door is in the kitchen. You would have to go through the double doors to the kitchen in order to get to that door.
Is there a way to sneak like under the counter instead of just like
The
hopping
counter's
over it like a
solid.
fucking?
No, the counter is like
Like-
solid subway tile, like white polished subway tile. Like there is no room underneath it.
Is there a back door that is not through the kitchen?
Not that you can see. Like the back wall of the coffee shop is just solid bookcases.
Okay. Okay, so she's been here enough. She is going to, in the chaos of everything, she's going to grab, like a to-go bag, shove everything in it, because she knows if she leaves it there, then they can track her because her name's on shit. And
Very smart.
yeah, and is going to, I guess, try and stealthily get over the fucking counter. Like there has to be. Hold on,
There's
I'm
an around if you would like a
yeah,
round.
like okay, that's fine. That's my thing is like they can't all just hop the counter in the morning.
No.
Like there has to be
No.
some way that they go.
There isn't around the counter. No,
Okay.
just no one asked for it.
So that's why I was asking. Like, is there a way like under it or like
Under it is not the correct answer,
Okay.
but around is.
So I'm going to stealth my way around the corner
Okay.
and try and sneak into the back where I know there's a back exit.
Okay, with your movement that you have, I'm gonna say that you can get low enough and sneak. Actually, give me a sneak roll to make sure nobody sees you sneak. Duh. But I will say that you can get to the open doors that Mario is like holding open, but you can't quite get in the kitchen yet.
And our dice can't explode, right?
Your dice cannot explode. No.
Oh fuck! Oh damn it! Okay.
I know what you
I
all can
wish.
roll though. I'm very aware.
I got a 3.
3 doesn't seem great. With a 3, I'm gonna say that you are spotted by at least one tag teamer, but he's kind of in the middle of something at the moment. So
Can-
he's clocked where you're headed, but you are not like you're not actively being pursued, but you've definitely lost the edge of surprise.
has he seen my face?
No, he's probably just seen the back of you.
Okay. What I am going to okay, so can I use one of my abilities?
If you would like to, yeah.
Or
For sure.
Or a spell?
You can, if you want to, go for it.
Okay. I'm gonna use one of my fucking spell points.
Go for it.
Hold on, I gotta find it now.
For while she's looking that up, for those of you who are watching, spells are used, or spells can be used by any spellcaster. They have a general list that they can choose from, as well as a specified list that belongs to their class. Every single day, all spellcasters get 10 power points to use just for free. They gain those back by resting or by spending sparks, which I forgot to tell you all at the top. You all each have a spark for free at the beginning of every session. Sparks can be used to buy back power points. They can also be used as a reroll if you desperately get something awful, and they can be used to say that you have something that you maybe like. We've talked about their inventories for the most part. If there's something you feel you need in this moment that you would not actually have on your person that we've talked about, you may spend a spark in order to have it. But those are the 3 ways that you can use those. Power points, like I said, can be rebought with sparks or by resting. But every spell costs a certain amount of power points that they get to have. Everybody starts with 10. And at this point, they all have access to 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point spells. As they level up, they'll also get access to 4 and 5 point spells, which you can imagine do a lot of damage. But what would you like to do in this moment?
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I should have probably done this backwards, but
That's
it's
all right.
okay. We're learning.
We're learning.
I'm going to use one of my 1 point spells,
Okay.
live in stereo.
Fantastic.
Just for all of you, I'll read the description.
Yes, please do.
So it's a bonus action, actually.
It is.
Music or sounds of your choosing will play in the target's head. It will not block out everything else they hear, but will be distracting at the least. This will cause them to roll with disfavor on anything hearing or conversation based. So I'm going to actually cast that to see if it is enough to throw him off with all of the chaos that's already around him, that like he may have seen me, but then it like takes his attention away.
What noise would you like it to be?
Let's make it a loud fire truck siren.
Fantastic.
Ooh.
So all of a sudden, you duck behind the counter and kind of just peek back out. You see one of the tag teamers who had his hands on somebody's shoulders all of a sudden go to cover his ears and just start staring out the window, kind of trying to look down the street, almost like, is there somewhere else I'm supposed to be right now? Because a huge fire truck noise would probably accompany at least some tag teamers, but he has completely dropped the woman that he had a hold of, and she has started to move away. She sort of just gives you like a very thank you sort of look, and she goes to hide behind one of the bookshelves. But he has completely stopped thinking about you, because now he's thinking that either he's hearing things or there's something really bad happening outside or something to that effect. He's very much off his game. I suppose if you would like to do some sort of action, you can.
Can I just use my movement?
You use your movement to get behind the counter.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm good.
Yeah. So you've essentially, what you've done is you've gone from the front of the bar to behind the counter. You're right at where those double doors would be.
Okay.
They're open. You just can't. You don't have enough movement to get into the kitchen. And with that, we move to Cal.
I'm working with Tom. I'm going to move into the kitchen,
Okay.
pick up the other body that he didn't get to, or try to at least, and move out.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I will let you go ahead and take all your movement to go into the kitchen and get over to the bodies.
Okay.
You both, no, just you for right now. Give me a medical check.
Yep. This is my best score except for all the others. 2.
Fantastic. Okay, so 2, you can't tell much. There's a body in front of you. It is badly burned. But outside of that, you can't tell whether they're breathing. You can't tell whether they're alive. You can't tell anything basically at all. But I will absolutely let you use your action to sort of pick it up and prep to move. But you won't be able to move the body until your next round.
I have a bonus action. Can I heal them?
You can attempt to.
That'll tell me maybe if they're alive.
It will.
Are you using mana from heaven?
No.
Damn.
I actually don't have that one.
Oh god,
Not
I was
taken?
so
Yeah.
proud of that one. Just so you know,
she was very proud of the name of that one. She helped me write
It's
some
a
of
good
those
name.
divine spells today. She did.
Oh god, I've been muted. I got.
No,
to
you
help with
weren't. We could hear you.
Okay, well, I got
Yes.
to work with the divine spells to make all of the church puns because I am a recovering Catholic. So we went back and forth on a couple names and we had decided on one and then we kept going and I was like, oh my god. No, I know what we have to call that one. Manna from heaven. So now I'm sad that you don't have it, but that's okay.
I'm deeply sorry about your past Catholicism.
It's a recovery
know.
process, man. It lasts your whole fucking life.
True. Okay. Well, I rolled for it's a bonus action to use it. So
Yes.
this is Healing Helper.
Okay.
And I rolled 2d6 for a total of 9. Does this do anything helpful for them?
Which body are you trying to heal? The one that looks like it might be Mario's brother, or the girl?
We didn't specify,
did
so
not.
I guess the girl.
Okay. You try to heal her, and as you do so, this light that shines blue sort of comes from your hands, but she doesn't move. There is no sign of anything. It seems like she may already be gone.
Okay.
Ouch,
I
that
think
hurt.
at that point, I'll leave her here and say to Tom, this one's already gone.
Yeah, and Tom, I will let you respond if you would like to before we move on to Maya.
Yeah, I just say fuck pretty loudly.
Okay, cool. That will definitely not give away your location in any way.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's all right.
No one
That's okay.
knows. No one knows.
Maya, who had made it probably just about as far as Quinn was at that point, she is going to try to follow you all because she doesn't really know what else to do. She's going to try to sneak. Where in the world is my D8? There we go. All right. She's got a 5, and she also has a +2 to sneak. So she gets a 7. She's not seen at all. She's going to follow pretty much your exact path down the counter and around, and just sort of sit beside you, or like rather crouch down beside you, and look into the kitchen, and you hear an audible gasp come from Maya. It's very low because she knows she can't be seen right now.
I was gonna say if she gasps, I'm gonna immediately cover her mouth.
No, it's not loud enough to really be perceived, but it's rather like a catch of breath that you know she's seen something that she didn't want to see. But she is not going to use an action or a bonus action. She's just going to sort of freeze where she is. And with that, we go to tag teamers. Now, because I made this a group roll for their initiative, obviously I do not want to keep track of 13 different people's initiative. That seems like a lot, especially when they're not you all. So I'm going to roll for them to do a collective action, which essentially just means they will all attempt to do the same thing. We will see how many of them are successful. Okay, so I rolled an 8. So we're going to go with 8 of them were successful in what they were attempting to do. And what they were all attempting to do was they are all going to, and you can see this sort of from the kitchen or from behind the counter if you're peeking out. They all go into their packs that are underneath their jackets, unzip, grab a syringe, and you just see almost in like domino succession of people being spun around or grabbed or thrown to the ground and getting a syringe to the back of their neck, right where your spine meets your skull. One woman falls with her head looking where you can see it, Quinn. If you would look out from behind the counter and just sort of peek around, you can see as you look into her eyes, you slowly see light leave them. Not in a way that would say life is leaving, but in a way that almost a soul is leaving. The eyes go glassy, and it's all of a sudden like a shell lays there instead of a person. And you can hear other bodies hitting the floor, and people screaming, and people crying. But then all of a sudden, the room only sounds about half as loud as it did before. that, we circle back around.
Was I allowed to talk to Quinn on Quinn's turn?
Were you allowed to talk to yourself?
To Quinn on Quinn's turn.
You are Quinn.
Or not, sorry, on Maya's. Is it Maya?
Yeah, if you would
Maya's
like to
turn?
talk to Maya. Yeah, you can talk to Maya.
Because what I would have said the minute she got near me is, they're gonna see your paints, they're gonna know.
Oh no.
And that's all I will acknowledge her.
Okay, so with you saying that, Maya is currently frozen in place. She obviously on her next turn will probably try to go back and get those. Because she will have not thought of that and will obviously have left them in trying to find something. So we go back to the top of initiative, which is Tom.
Okay, I'm gonna try to see if this person is alive. Do you like do a medical check on them?
You can do a med check. That's fine.
All right, D10. That's a 5.
Okay. Yeah, with a 5, you can definitely, like, you know how to feel for a pulse, and it's pretty easy. It is very shallow, like within seconds to like a few minutes, maybe you could die, but very, very, very shallow.
I bring this person over to Calvin, and then now how far is like there's like an employee exit door?
The employee, it just says employees only. It doesn't say exit anywhere, so you're not super sure where it leads to. But employees only is like on the other side of the room. Like you're about halfway through the room. So with this movement, you could make it through that door essentially and be at the very beginning of the next place.
All right, I set the body next to Calvin and go to open that door.
Okay, so you make it all the way over. There's smoke everywhere. So there's like a small window on the door, but you can't see anything through it. It's just because of all the smoke that has gotten absolutely everywhere. You open that door and sort of slide yourself into the next room. The door will close behind you by itself. And where you are now just looks to be a like small hallway. There's a door. Well, if you look down the hallway, you are essentially at one end. You turn right, and looking down the hallway, there are 2 doors on your left. There's one at the very end of the hallway on the right, and then there's one directly all the way in front of you.
I start banging on doors, seeing if like people are here and if they're okay.
With the rest of your movement, you can get to the first door and knock on it. You don't hear anything though.
I'll try the knob.
Yeah, you can open the door and see it's basically just like an inventory room or like a storage room. There's like flour and sugar and stuff like that. Like pretty much just everywhere, like a proofing room essentially.
Is there a first aid kit?
Give me let's just do it on luck again. Give me a D10. Upper half means there's a first aid kit. Lower half means there's not.
That's a 1.
So no, there is absolutely not. No first aid kits in sight. But with that, we will go ahead and move to next in initiative order, which is Quinn.
Okay, I am going to immediately stay low, make my way through. The kitchen doors are open, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mario has let one of them go. But like I said, they're just the ones that swing back and forth. There is no like right way to go through it. Essentially, he's leaning up on the other one for support at this point.
Okay.
He's like coughing up pretty much all of the smoke that he's inhaled.
So before she moves, she's got a bag of the stuff. She's gonna pull her handkerchief out of her personage, wherever she keeps her shit. I should have thought of that. She probably has like a little pouch. She probably has pouches in her like jacket and shit.
Yeah, that seems
She's gonna pull her handkerchief out, and at first she's gonna put it over her face. And she's gonna go to try and just get through and go through and see if she can find a back exit.
Okay, your movement, since you are at the doors, will get you to where Calvin currently is, on the floor with bodies.
That's fine. If I have to touch any door, or anything in that process, I'm going to wipe it down with that handkerchief.
You do not.
Okay.
The door, the one that just swings, you can just sort of body, you know what
Okay.
I mean? You don't need to directly touch it in any
Okay.
way. The rest of this is just like a very open floor plan kitchen. Like all of the ovens and stuff are around the edges. There's like an island sort of made of those metal tables in the middle. There's nothing you need to directly touch, at least not yet.
Okay, so if I will have made it to where Calvin is, I'm going to just kind of take in the people and try and remember them. Since I go here every day,
Yes.
do I know them?
Actually give me common knowledge, I guess. Because like you said, this is a place you come every day. So names like that would become common knowledge for you.
D8. Where's my D8? There you are. 6, 7, 8.
Beautiful. Yeah, you absolutely know these people. The guy on the ground that looks like Mario is Mario's brother. You recognize him from like they look almost exactly the same. The only difference is that Malcolm, who is the one who is laying on the floor, has his ears pierced and Mario doesn't. Which is the only way you have ever been able to tell them apart, and you're pretty sure it's the only way anybody can ever tell them apart. But he's really badly burned. And you can sort of see that he's breathing, but like it's not very well. It's super shallow. You can barely see his chest move. The girl you recognize as Sarah, who was Bella's very first employee at the coffee shop, the very first barista that Bella ever hired, kind of considered to be like the best employee Bella has.
Okay, I'm going to make a mental note of who they are, and this is going to make me seem really callous, but I'm just primed to just keep going.
No,
and get the fuck out.
Fair. So with that, then that would end your turn, and we move to Calvin.
Maybe it was a style choice. It wasn't, but maybe.
Maybe.
Tom, I forget. Did you try to take him with you, or no? Were you just piecing out to the next?
I put him next
room?
to you.
That's right. Thank you. I'm gonna try to heal him then.
Okay, you can absolutely do that.
You said Malcolm. Yeah.
Yeah, you can try to heal Malcolm if you would just like to make that roll for me.
Yep. 4, 8.
Beautiful. So Malcolm seems to be better, like as glowing light comes from your hands again, sort of over his burns and his chest and his head. You see him take like a hitch in his breath, like very quickly, and his chest starts to rise and fall a little bit deeper. It's not a lot, it's not great, but it definitely has bought him a lot of time, possibly enough time for medical professionals to get here.
I'm going to talk to someone on their turn. I'm going to turn to Calvin and say, don't stay, get out.
Needs help.
You're only putting yourself in more danger.
Well, we have to do something.
The best thing that you can do for you is to get out of here with your memory still intact. And then she just kind of closes off.
If I take a quick glance back at the rest of the space, what's going on there? Are they still, like, am I seeing them do their thing with syringes?
Oh, yeah. You can see like the sliver past the counter that Quinn would have been able to see earlier, the woman that's just sort of staring in your direction, but there is no life there. It just looks like pure glass in a shell of a person. It's almost like the soul has been taken right out of her body. You can hear people screaming, pleading, and you can hear at least one woman crying as you see more and more syringes being taken out of packs, being put into people. You're seeing less and less heads of people, which would make you think that more and more bodies are hitting the floor. Whether that's by choice or not is not super clear, but the time itself is running out.
I really don't like it, but I'm just gonna cross myself quickly and move.
Yeah, you can take the rest of your movement to get to that door and through that door that Tom just got through.
Okay.
So you see the same thing. You see a like fairly long hallway, 2 doors on your left, one all the way down and on your right, and then one at the very end of the hallway. None of them have like descriptors on them or anything like that. Probably because the people that are supposed to be back here would be employees and they would know. But since you used did you use your action or your bonus action to heal?
Bonus.
Okay, so if you would like to try a door, I can let you do that.
Yeah, I'll try one of the other nearest doors.
Okay,
Tom wasn't already at.
The other door on the left is going to be your closest one, but you open it and it's just a bathroom.
Okay. I'll leave it open to make it immediately visible to anyone passing by so they don't have to waste time.
Okay, cool. And with that, we're back to Maya. So Maya has just been informed that her paints are about to give her away. Thankfully, none of her stuff is like signed, like it's a brand new pad, but she's still going to try to go back and grab it. So what I am going to do is Maya has a lesson that allows her to double her movement. But essentially it costs her power points to do it. So she can't use as many spells later, but she can double her movement now. So she will do that.
That's cool.
Yep, that'll work. So she's going to double her movement, which will allow her to get all the way back to her table. That area of the room has sort of already been cleared out because she was by the front door. So she is going to just very quickly gather all of her stuff and throw it in her bag and slide herself under the table for right now. Because tag teamers are still like going back and forth, but the people that were around her have already been taken care of. So their bodies are littering the floor around the table, and she's just underneath that table hugging her bag, waiting for a chance to run. And that is going to be her turn. And now we are back to tag teamers. Now, like I said, we're getting lower on the bodies that are still in the room. We do still have some people that they need to get through though before they could head into like a different part of the building. And that is a 1. So I'm going to say on a 1 that none of them are successful. Like people are just like scampering back and forth. They're running, they're dodging, they're doing whatever they can because they know what happens when tag teamers are around. And people don't come back at all, or they come back not themselves. So these let's say 10 people that are probably left in the front of the store, including Bella, are all just very much not letting them have an easy time about it. Bella is even like throwing things across the counter because she's absolutely not about to go down in her own business without a fight. So she just like chucks a coffee pot at some dude's head, and you see him sort of like duck and look around like he didn't understand that this woman would have this much strength. And as that nightmare is unfurling, we're back to Tom, and this is the top of round 3, just to let you know.
I gotta check another door.
Okay, so at the end, it'll take all your movement to get down there, but at the end of the hallway in that door on the right, you open it and it's like a small office. There's like a desk, chair, like a lamp sitting on the desk. There's paperwork everywhere. You can gather this is probably Bella's office where she does like the financial stuff. She does inventory work, things like that. But there are a couple file cabinets. One of them is busted open, and the top drawer is open, and there are sort of like files all over the floor.
I quickly scoop those up and put them in my jacket.
Okay. So yeah, you just gather all of the ones that are on the floor. What about like, do you want any that are in the drawer, the ones on the desk?
Does it look like the fire was going to spread when we were back in the kitchen?
It's definitely spreading, but it seemed more like it was spreading toward the front than the back. Like the back half of the kitchen, nothing was on fire yet when you exited.
Because of my Tom's nature, he's going to do a quick glance to see if there's anything of value as well.
Okay. Value wise, go ahead and give me just like an observation check, I guess.
That's going to be a 4.
Okay, cool. On a 4, I'm going to say that you can probably see her bank bag that she takes back and forth, like money to the bank and stuff from the cash register in. You can probably also see like just some like awards that she's won and things like that, but like none of those would really be of any value other than sentimental. There's also like a small safe over in the corner, but it obviously is going to take time to open.
All right. Is there a photo or something on her desk?
There is.
Like a family photo or something?
Yeah.
I swiped that with the files.
Okay, cool. So you take it's a photo of Bella and her wife, as well as their 2 kids. They've got a little girl that looks probably about 5 and a boy that looks about 8. It's just the 4 of them sitting on the steps to what you would assume is their house. But they're all just sitting there together in like very matching outfits. Like you can tell this is like a family portrait sort of situation. And as you're grabbing it, you see just like a little like written something on the back of the frame in blue. Would you like to take the time to look at that now, or would you like to wait?
I will. He was grabbing it on impulse of recognizing it as a memory that he doesn't want someone else to lose.
Very fair of you. Okay, so you're just going to take that, like stuff it into your jacket with those files. But other than
If I do notice the writing, I'll definitely take a look at it.
On the back of it, you just see it says, "All my love, Marion."
Yeah, that goes with the files, and then I book out back to the hallway and see if I can try another door or try to wave him down this way.
I would say that you've probably used your movement. There's only one door left in this hallway anyway. So I would say that you can definitely flag Calvin down though, and just sort of let him know like you've got this room.
I was like, yeah, just an office.
Yep. And with that, we move to Quinn.
Question.
Yes.
Is it an action if I wipe down doorknobs?
I will say this is not a question I anticipated.
I know. I try.
I will not call that an action. I will call that your bonus action.
Okay, so as I make it down the hall, I'm going to wipe every doorknob they've touched.
Okay, cool.
Because
so you're just like making sure that their prints cannot be found.
Yeah, like I'm trying to get myself out of there, but if I can help some people in the process, like in a very, very small way, I will wipe down doorknobs so that they can't pull prints from them.
Yeah.
Noticing that, I pull my sleeve over my palm.
Yeah.
Smart man.
Very smart of you. So I would say with your movement, you can get to like those first couple of doors, but probably not all the way down to the office.
Okay.
On this turn. Is there anything else that you would like to do besides move and wipe their hand or some fingerprints off things?
Maybe. I have to go back up to my page.
In the meantime, while you're looking, the 3 of you, now that you're in this back hallway, you sort of just hear a very loud crash, like the sound of metal hitting tile. you obviously can't see what's happening, but the thought is that it's probably another piece of equipment that has fallen. If you were betting on how well you know Bella, she's probably pushed a coffee, like espresso maker or something to that degree, off of the counter trying to hit somebody.
Jeez.
She's feisty, I don't know what to tell you.
I yell out, "You get him, girl!"
How far away from me is Bella?
Bella is behind the counter still, so she's all the way through the kitchen. She's in the front room.
Is she more than 30 feet away from me?
No.
Okay.
Or actually, no, she's probably like right at 30 feet.
Okay. Because it's Bella, I am going to cast From Beyond around her.
Okay, now can you read what For Beyond is for those that do not know?
For Beyond is specifically a Reaper spell. I probably should have specified. I am a Reaper. The caster may summon 1d4 spirits to help aid in the battle or other large tasks. The spirits stay for 3 rounds.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your d4 for me.
Come on. Give me a good number. Oh, yay, 4. All right.
Well, then there you go. So while you can't see it, in the front room, as tag teamers are rushing around and there are people, a couple have like tried to run out the front door, but the people outside grabbed them and threw them to the ground. But the tag teamers, like some of them have just decided to stop chasing people and they're like cataloging the bodies they've already taken care of and things like that. All of a sudden, from the corners of the room, you just see purple gas just sort of creep along the floor, and go to different points where tag teamers are, and the purple gas just sort of grows around them into a vaguely humanoid shape, and then all of a sudden snaps to be around their necks and are choking out 4 of the tag teamers. It's like they're choking on gas, like gas is still spilling out of their mouth and surrounding them, just like noxious plum fumes. But they seem to not be able to breathe, and as they try to move to get away from it, it moves with them. So those 4 spirits will be, at the very least, a very awful feeling distraction for a few rounds, if not doing worse. And Bella will take that opportunity to go ahead and go back through the kitchen. She stops when she sees Sarah and Malcolm laying there. She sees that Malcolm is breathing, which is a very big comfort to her, but for a minute she just sits and sobs before realizing that she needs to get a move on. So with that, I will go ahead and add Bella to initiative, because now it feels like she should be able to get her own turns. So Bella will go after Quinn.
Can I see Bella come in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Like I see her be upset, and I just immediately, like, not yell, but say, so she can hear me, like, we gotta go.
She looks up at you and just sort of solemnly nods, and gives one last glance back at Malcolm and Sarah's bodies lying in the middle of her kitchen. And then she turns, and it looks like she will follow you when she gets the chance, but for right now she has no movement left. And with that, we will go to Calvin.
We still haven't moved through the back door or the one on the right, right?
The one on the right was the office.
Okay, so we've got. Okay, so just the back door.
Left.
We need to get out. Yeah. That's my plan then, is to just open that up. Hopefully it's outside, and I can just hold the door open and direct everybody out.
Okay, cool. So your movement will get you to that back door, and I will let your action be to open that back door.
Okay.
You go ahead and get that door open, and you see it is in fact outside. It is an alleyway that is like between Bella's and the next building over. It's very small, really only like a couple people wide, super skinny. There's like a dumpster that you can see kind of over to the side, that's got like a couple of small animals around it, but other than that you don't see anybody or anything out here.
Okay, I was waiting for there are 35 tag teamers at the end of the assay. Like, no.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna keep it open and just look back and say it looks clear. Let's go. Let's get out.
Okay, so that is the end of yours, unless you would like to do some sort of bonus action-y thing.
Don't think there's anything necessary or anything that I really can do. That's not. 1 second. Sorry.
No, you're totally fine.
Looking at spiel. I'm totally not on that page. No, I'm not close enough to use that. Okay, no.
Okay. No, then you're totally fine. So that is the end of your turn. We hop back to Maya. Maya, we left underneath a table surrounded by bodies. Tag teamers have started to catalog those bodies, so she is in very close quarters, but Maya is small. She's like 5'2", 5'3", so she's been able to duck underneath this table pretty easily. And like most tag teamers are tall people, like 5'9" and above, so they are not easily seeing her. Like they would have to look essentially for somebody specifically being under the table. So she takes
5'9" is not that tall. I would just like to point out.
It is to somebody that's 5'3", and that's coming from somebody who's 5'3" and lives with you.
Taller than me. Just saying.
Well, yeah, I know I'm taller than you. I've always known that.
You haven't always known anything.
I'm taller than all of you.
So Maya is going to first roll to see if she can sneak successfully. Heck yeah, short people solidarity. We love to see it.
It's okay. I'll be the minority in the room. I'm used to being the minority anyway.
Okay, well, she got a she gets a +2 to sneak, so she gets a 12. So she's going to be just fine and won't be seen by anybody, which is lovely. She's also going to do that thing again where she takes power points in order to double her movement. So she is able to make it all the way back to the beginning of the kitchen without being seen by anybody. She's got all of her stuff in hand now, so it was like she was never there. And so that is the end of Maya's turn.
As she passes me, I'm going to tell her don't touch anything.
She'll just sort of nod. Oh yeah, got it. And she makes it. She's not quite as far as Bella is, but she's like at the beginning of the kitchen. And that is the end of her turn. Now, we are at the end of round 3. We are reaching sticky situation territory for as far as that front room goes. Pretty much everyone there has been taken care of and is on the floor, glassy-eyed, like there is no soul left in their bodies. So, if I roll this, and we are above a 10, they're going to start trying to move toward the kitchen. And that is a 4. So, they take care of the last few people that have somehow evaded things this long in the front room. You hear one man in particular scream out as he hits the floor, and you hear like a hiss of pain as you assume that person is injected. But everyone that you all immediately care about in the vicinity is in the kitchen or farther back. So, for right now, we are okay. And with that and their last successful live person sort of taken down in the front room.
I think we need to add someone to initiate it.
I think we do too. Hello, cat. You are precious and I love you.
Calvin Fox and Calvin Cat.
Yes.
Wonderful. Calvin number 2. So we can head back now to the top. Oh, also, because the tag teamers outside also need to be included. You, Calvin, at the back door, you can hear somebody near the front of the building sort of yelling out orders of like, gather these bodies, put them on the truck, make sure to tag them as they go through, remember to scan them, like that sort of thing. It definitely doesn't seem like he knows anybody's back here. But you can tell that you're not that far off from where somebody would be able to hear you.
So there's an alley. Is it double? Like, is it open-ended on either side?
Yes. So like you can
Sorry, that
hear
was-
toward the front of the building, but yeah, it's open-ended.
Okay. So if it's open at either side, then we need to go that other direction.
I would advise that personally, but you all do what you want. But with that all being taken care of, Tom, it is the beginning of round 4, and it is your turn.
Busting through that door and getting the hell out of here.
Good call. Your movement will totally get you out into the alley. Like I said, there's a dumpster there. There are a couple of small animals, but it's a fairly long alley. Like just by being in the middle of it, nobody at either end would like really be able to clock that you're there unless they're standing at the end of the alley and staring down it.
Gotcha.
So if there is there anything you'd like to do outside in this alley, or would you like to just go ahead and be out here in the not on fire place?
I might. Is there a way to, like, instead of using an action, double my movement to get to the end of that alley and, like, try to look?
Yeah, I'll let you do that. Yeah. Instead of an action, if you would like to just take extra movement instead, that's fine.
Yeah, and just peek around the corners, see if coast is clear on that side.
I'm assuming you want to go to the side that's not at the front of the building.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you can go all the way down there. You can kind of just peek around the corner. You can see a tag teamer van, but there's nobody in the front seat. Like you can see through the windshield and there's nobody there. A tag teamer van is essentially like the white van, but like everybody tells you to never go in. There, if you could see in the back.
Don't take the free candy or the puppies, kids. Don't
do
do it.
Don't do it. Don't take the free candy. Essentially in the back you would be able to see like monitors with a couple of seats in the back, like for people to be able to observe things, but you can't see back there, so you have no idea if there's anybody in the back. You just know that the driver's seat and the passenger seat are empty and it's off.
Gotcha. I try to wave back at Calvin and let him know there's no people. I mouth that there's a van.
Okay, that sounds lovely. And with that, we will go ahead and go to Quinn.
Oh, and can I bonus action pet the kitty?
You can absolutely bonus action pet the kitty.
All right.
The kitty deserves all the pets.
I'm in love with this cat right now.
I know, the cat's my favorite. Hi, bud.
She's extremely soft.
What is the cat's name?
She's Ripley.
Hi, Ripley. I love you.
Hi, Ripley.
Ripley,
so
you're
precious.
perfect.
You're so
She's not cooperating 'cause she thinks I'm petting her chin, which I will
That's
not
okay.
do. But
That's okay.
she has a
Ripley's
xenomorph tag.
perfect. Where she does.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
Love you, Ripley.
love it.
She's a great cat.
She's totally here for game night. I'm down with it. Okay. I am going to, if I can also, because I don't really have any actions I'm going to take, I am going to double move to get as far as I can.
Yep.
And if you will allow me, because of extensive research, I feel like I would know all of the little alleyways and kind of like go arounds. I am going to take a super roundabout way to try and get to my house.
Wow.
during that trip, I'm gonna find a trash can that's far enough away, but not like super, super far away to drop the coffee stuff.
Okay, well, your whole movement definitely cannot get you home.
That's that's fair, but like I figured can it get me out of the alleyway?
No, I would say that you can probably get as far, because you were at the beginning of the hallway. So I would say that your movement for right now can get you to about the door where Calvin is. Because you were at the beginning of the hallway where you could still see through the kitchen and be able to help Bella.
That's fair. Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Okay, so you can get to the door to the alley. Essentially, you and Calvin are like flanking on either side. Tom is out the door. Bella will go ahead and go. She essentially will double her movement to run as far down the hallway where you are as she can, towards the door. Maya will go ahead and do the same, but Maya has a spell that will allow her to travel farther in what she sort of deems it as emergency purposes. She tries not to use it very much.
Can I tell Bella not to go home?
Yes, you can absolutely tell Bella not to go home. So Maya will double her movement. She will get all the way to the hallway where you all are currently. She will then use one of her spells. Maya is a creator, which means that she can take any sort of like art piece or anything of that nature and turn it into a portal to somewhere else, as long as it is the appropriate size to move what she would like to move. Thankfully, Bella's
That is so fucking cool. I didn't even read about that.
It is the coolest spell I
And
came
I
up with.
edited this book.
Honestly, originally Maya was a bard. And then the more I thought about it, the more I thought it would be cool if there was a creator in the party.
Did not make Maya bard.
Yeah. She was originally going to be the singer in the coffee shop, like the coffee shop guitar player that's always there. But I instead decided that it would be really fun to have a creator in your party, so I turned Maya into a creator instead. Thankfully, Bella's is filled with art. She like prides herself on collecting art from local artists and things like that. And one thing that has not yet been destroyed in the fire is a mural that Bella hired somebody to paint, which means it is big enough for Maya to transport her whole self through it. So if this works, which it does, thank goodness, Maya can transport herself within 50 miles of where she currently is, but she has to perfectly know what that place looks like. And right now, she's very panicked. So not a lot of places are perfectly coming to mind, except for where she was earlier this morning, which happens to be right where that van is outside. So she is going to transport herself over to the end of the alley where Tom currently is. So Maya is completely now out of the building. You, Tom, sort of see like everything is perfectly fine and normal, and then all of a sudden there is a ripple in the bricks beside you, almost like water, like when you touch the surface of water, just like that ripple out, but it's happening in pure brick, which is a trip to see. And then all of a sudden Maya just walks out of brick, and she's standing there and she's hugging her backpack, and she's being very nonchalant about the whole thing, which kind of seems like a red flag, but here we are. So Maya's out of the building.
Tom is kind of dumbfounded, but tells her that there's a van around the corner that looks empty.
Okay, and she just sort of nods at that and peeks around the corner, like she's almost like she's looking for something very specific. Okay, so it's the tag teamer's turn. They got a natural 20. In this case, I am going to say that the tag teamers that are in the building have cataloged all of the bodies. Currently, the ones that were outside are now dragging them out. So the ones that were outside are not really a problem to you all right now. They're very distracted. They've got like 20 bodies that they need to catalog and scan and get into vans. And like the transport vans, you sort of see one rush down the street, are not the same as the don't get in the white van. They're pretty big. Like they look like bank trucks that they use to transport large amounts of money, except for the fact that if they're all white, there is no identification on them whatsoever. Not even license plates. Like there is nothing to even indicate that this vehicle exists outside of you can see it. For Tom, Tom, go ahead and give me an observation check. I want to see if you see what's in one of these vans. No one else is close enough.
That's going to be a 10 on the die plus 2, 12.
That's beautiful. You see one of these vans has gone to the wrong place. They've gone to the back part of the building, which is obviously not where they're carrying bodies out of, but they don't know that. So they like pull up and they sort of block your view of the first van. But one guy gets out and he's wearing the all white, and he comes around and unlatches the back and throws it up. And the door just kind of does the ripple like garage door thing where it slides into the top. And you see what can really only be described as freezers. But like they're like the big freezers you open from the top, but you can open them on a long side. So the whole side of it just collapses down and sort of a tray rolls out. And you see the guy prep the first one. So you see him open it, roll out the tray, and then just like flip a switch that sort of locks it open and in place. So when they're putting a body on it, it won't like slide. And he gets back out and sort of looks around. And then he grabs his phone out of his pocket, puts it up to his ear, and you can't quite hear the conversation, but from the like gestures and facial expressions he's making, you can pretty much see he's getting yelled at for not being in the right place. And so he just sort of like very quickly like finishes his conversation, puts the phone back in his pocket, slides everything back in, shuts the freezer, closes the door, and then drives off in the opposite way. Presumably going to go find a place to turn around so he can go to the front of the building.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's what you see on that. But yeah, so they're loading bodies in, right? But the ones that were in the building that are kind of done with their job are now going to be sent off to check the rest of the building. With their movement, I'm going to say that they can only get as far as the kitchen for right now. So they probably see Malcolm's body. They'll see Sarah's body. Malcolm, because he's breathing, will obviously be treated like the rest of them. He is flipped over, and I mean, he's in no shape to fight back. The spirits that have had a hold of those four are still choking in the front room, and quite frankly, the rest of the tag teamers don't care. People are dispensable, you know. So those four can't be around to help. But the few that have gone back to the kitchen turn Malcolm's body over, take out a syringe, and inject him in the back where his spine meets his skull. While he's still struggling to breathe, it's like the struggle almost goes out as he slows down and his eyes go glassy. He's still breathing, but very shallow. In this case, he'll be put in a freezer just like everyone else, and hopefully given medical attention later. But that is as far as they can get. But Malcolm is now caught, as well as they will take Mario and do the same. And that is the end of their turn. So we are back at the top of initiative order. Tom, this is round number 5. You all have to accomplish what you want to accomplish right now. I thought that was round number 4.
We just finished round number 4.
Yeah, that was the
4.
end of that was the end of round number 4. This is round number 5. So you don't need to finish right now.
All right, so the other way down the street, not the way towards the front of the restaurant that had like the van, the opposite direction of the van.
Yes.
What's that looking like?
The opposite, so the van, where the van was and there where the freezer truck just pulled away, that's the back of the store. In the front of the store is where they're currently loading bodies onto freezer trucks.
Okay, but the alley that I'm looking out of,
Yeah.
I look one way towards the
Oh yeah, you look one
vans,
way. Yes.
and what's the opposite direction?
The opposite way to that is like a small cut through essentially, and then it's back to sidewalk. Not like it's almost Bella's is almost like at the corner of the street. So if you would cut through that small part of the alleyway, you're on like a completely different street in the very northwestern side of town. Up that way is just basically where there's like a old bed and breakfast that was converted into apartments. There's like the town monument, and like a small park, essentially. And then like you're almost like to town line at that point. Like you're at the back edge of town almost now.
All right, I quickly look at my little map that I just got.
Yes.
Tuck it back in the jacket, quickly reverse it, and tuck all my hair up into my hat, and start taking off down that direction.
Got you. I'll say that with your movement, you can get onto that sidewalk. You look around, and there are no tag teamers here. It's quiet. There's not really anybody here, even like civilians out. Like it's just extremely quiet. But then again, it's Tuesday, and it's like 1:30 in the afternoon, so there's a really good chance most people are at work right now.
Before I do, I take out the picture frame, frisbee toss it to Calvin, and say, "You'll know who to give this to."
Okay.
Hopefully I'll catch it.
And with that, I think that's the end of your turn, and you are successfully out. You have successfully fulfilled your mission of get out of Dodge, and there's
Woo!
really no reason for tag teamers to look for you here. And with that, we move to Quinn.
I'm gonna double movement again.
Okay.
Will that get me out of the alley?
That will get you. Yeah, probably. I would say probably not quite as far as Drew is right now, but like very close to where he is, like over on the next streets over.
Okay. Unless I turn to Maya when I get there, and I turn to her and I say, "Can that portal work for someone else or just for you?"
It can work for anybody, but I need like art to make it work. Like I can't just make a brick wall of portal. Like I need like a mural or something.
That's fair. Okay.
But there's one not too far, like over there. And she points, and it's like where the van is. There's like a very small alleyway almost behind it, and there's a mural. Like you can see it. Like you can literally see the edge of a mural that's like full of beautiful flowers.
Fuck. Do I chance it?
Do you chance it?
Do I chance it?
Do you chance it?
I don't think she'd chance it. I think she'd just fucking book it.
Okay, so you're going to book it, and basically the only safe direction you can see is the way that Tom went.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna head. I'm not necessarily following him, but I'm gonna head in that general direction to try and get out of view and away from the coffee shop.
Yep, that works perfect. And with that, you are now safe as well. So
And
now,
within earshot of me telling Teddy to skip his noon coffee.
so with that, we go to Bella. Now here's the problem. Bella was still in the building. She was about halfway down that hallway when they started to move into the kitchen and they took care of Malcolm and Maria. So I'm going to I'm going to do this as luck, just as I've had Tom do a couple times tonight. Okay. Bella darts. She goes as quickly as she can. She knows that she's in the back at this point. She saw Maya go through the mural, and that wasn't super shocking to her because Maya's done it a couple times in front of her before. But she reaches as far as her office, and she goes to like grab it towards the door to the alley when she feels something grab the back of her shirt. And you all don't see it, but you hear Bella scream. As soon as that scream hits, though, it's like silence, and then it's but not silence, it's deafening silence. It's the place where you are sure that a sound belongs, but it's not there anymore.
I am so sorry. Adele must have ended.
Adele must have
just
ended.
a moment.
Oh no, Henry.
Is that
Dog
over?
has anxiety issues. We're so sorry. He calmed down to Adele earlier, so that's what we've been doing.
Henry, Easy on Me is a good song. Listen.
You know he likes I Drink Wine.
He does like I Drink Wine. He also loves Ariana Grande.
He really loves Ariana Grande. Bless his heart, buddy. He's very mad. All right. So as you hear this, like the lack of sound where you feel like sound should definitely be.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
But then you don't see Bella and you don't hear Bella. And you wait for a minute, but she doesn't come out the door. It's okay. So, Bella doesn't seem to be an initiative anymore, although you are welcome to check if you'd like. Because next up anyway is Calvin.
I feel like we have to maintain the same goal. I'm just going to keep moving as well, keep moving that same general direction and to the other side of the alley, try to get out.
I would say that is wise. You can definitely make it to the end of the alley from where you are. You could probably also make it a bit farther. Maya is waiting at the end of the alley. She made sure that Quinn got through okay before she's attempting to move again in any way. So Maya just sort of gives you a nod and points in the direction that Quinn and Tom went.
Are you coming too?
I'll be there in a minute.
Stay.
Yeah, no, I'm not. And she's just sort of looking around nervously. She's looking for something very specific. Or at least that's what it feels like. But you obviously can't be super sure of what. But she assures you that she'll be right behind you.
All right. Be safe.
Huh? Yeah.
I just decided, I think these guys, we should just go back and hang out. Maybe we have some differences that we can resolve through conversation.
She just kind of laughs at you and goes, okay, yeah, you feel free to do that.
No, I'm out.
Good call. Yeah, she just sort of laughs and she points in the direction that Tom and Quinn went.
Yeah, I'm gonna move as far as I can in that direction. Keeping an eye out around me.
Go for it. Okay, so you make it to the sidewalk and see the same thing the two of them do. It's completely quiet, almost too quiet, but there are no tag teamers around. There's nobody around really at all, but you can easily chalk it up to it's a Tuesday. Like, people have things to do. And this is like a really quiet, not super busy part of town anyway. So you are properly out, and with that, the only person to get out, which she can just do with her movement, is Maya. So Maya will follow with the three of you out onto the sidewalk, and she will just kind of like you see her relax almost as she hits the sidewalk with you all. Like the grip around her bag loosens a lot, and she just sort of nods and swings it around to put it back on her back and kind of tugs her beanie back down. It's like kind of almost fallen off her head and all the ruckus, so she kind of just like pulls it again, like pulls it down on her shorts, and just like falls into step with you all, not really wanting to seem like she's like following you, but definitely not knowing where to go. And with that, we are out of Fate's assignment, and within 5 rounds, you all were able to get out. Bella was not as lucky, unfortunately. Bella, with the last we heard, was in the back hallway, but nobody checked, nobody saw anything, so who knows what really happened. But you all are out and fine. With that, you all walk down the sidewalk. In what direction do you all want to go? Just
I'm
to
just
give you
going
like
straight
and looking, matching places.
just like give you clarity of where we are. You all are in the top northwestern part of town. Like I said earlier, there is the like bed and breakfast that was sort of turned into apartments up here. There was like a bridge with a clearing underneath it that's been turned into a park. There is the local town monument. And just like a little like roundabout around the monument, sort of. Again, like there's not a lot of traffic here. It's mostly just for like a trail to for people to walk. But either way, you will have to go either south, which is going to put you about the same area you just came out of, or east, which will like take you more into the northern part of town, but like that will give you access to other parts of town again.
I take the walking trail.
That would be east, would be the walking trail.
Yeah, I'll take it as well.
Okay. Might I assume the same of you, Calvin? Or are you really like excited to go try to talk to some people?
That was entirely not true.
Well, I
have no interest in talking to them.
I would not put it past you.
So you
Fair.
all head along the walking trail. Maya goes with you. As you all walk along it, you all walk past the town monument, which you all have all seen before at this point. Maybe not this up close in the past few months, but you see that it is a giant lighthouse, completely made of stone, probably like 12 foot tall, something to that effect. It's massive. And at the base of that monument is a plaque that just reads, "Happiness can be found when we follow the light."
Is the precinct anywhere near?
The precinct is going to be like back in downtown.
Okay.
So you can go back like that way, but you would have to finish out the walking trail before it would let you go south again in order to avoid Bella's.
Okay.
But if you all would like to walk that way, as you keep walking, there are like phone booths peppered through town. They're like the big box ones that you can step inside of. They're all painted in like shades of red, but like a darker red, like a burgundy one, and they all say phone booth on one side, but then on the other one they say like they just say Grimsbie, in just like a very normal like Times New Roman font. They don't look super special in any way, and for the life of you can't remember the last time you saw someone step inside one. At this point you're pretty sure they're just decoration, but as you walk past one, it begins to ring.
How close are we to it?
What?
You're like 20 feet away, probably.
And it's as we're approaching it, or we've already passed it and started ringing?
No, it's like as you're approaching it, but it's like almost like you're in between two of them. So like there's one like sort of behind you that's not ringing, and there's one in front of you that is.
I'll go pick it up.
Okay.
I don't say anything. I just pick up the receiver.
Okay. So as you walk in, you shut the door behind you. You pick up the receiver, don't say anything. And all you hear is, "Hello. This is the Reality Corporation calling. We have a message from you from Penelope. Would you like your message?"
Yes.
Okay, so as you say that, you hear like a ring, like it's putting you in through to somebody else. But instead of a human voice on the other end, you just hear, "Hello, this is the Reality Corporation calling. We have a message for you from Penelope. The following message will play now. Once your message is done, please put down the receiver and wait for further instructions from the Reality Corporation." And all you hear is a instrumental of music. It's sort of similar to what an ice cream truck would play, but it's not quite the same. It's definitely something you think you've heard before, but it's not quite there. And with that, can you make a memory check for me? That is a D20 plus your intuition plus your memory modifier, which right now for you is a -2. So for those of you that don't know while she's rolling this up,
I also realized they can't hear me because I've had my mic muted.
No, you haven't. I can hear you.
You can
No,
hear
you're
me through Zoom.
Oh,
I've had it muted
no.
through the stream.
I
Okay,
forget
I'm
that we can
making
hear
a
you
memory
differently.
check.
Yeah, okay. So a memory check is a way for people to get their memories back. In the town of Grimsbie, all those syringes that people were pulling out and getting stabbed with, those at the end of the day will wipe your memory. That's why people wear pins, so they can understand how long you've not had your memory for. All of our players currently have pink pins, which means that they have been erased sometime within the past 6 months. Maya has been erased at some point within the past 6 months to a year. In order to gain memories back or understand what false memories are versus true memories, anything like that, I can ask for at any time, or any of the players can ask for at any time, a memory check. A 20 or higher will give you the full memory that you are looking to have. Or a below that but like still successful will give you like a feeling or a snippet or something that will like help point you in the right direction but won't give you the full story. So this is our first memory check of the whole campaign.
I'm so mad because if it was just that plus my intuition, I would have had a 20.
Oh no.
Because I rolled an 18. But my intuition and my memory modifier cancel each other out. So
that's fair.
it's just an 18.
Okay, that's fair. This early, it's really hard to get a full memory, but you are successful. So now your memory modifier goes up. So you now don't have as much of a negative.
What does it go up to?
You asked me too quickly. I gotta find the page for it.
I asked the hard question.
Look, this book so far is about 60 pages, and it's not even fully written.
I know, it's not done yet.
The version that everybody has a hold of. It's fine.
I don't remember how many it goes
Oh, I
up.
found it. Okay. So let's see. You get a +1, so you're now at -1 instead of -2.
Okay, that's better than -2.
So
take
exactly.
it.
So the good thing about your memory modifier is that it changes completely. Like it changes every time you use it in game. So every time that you all ask me for a memory check, your memory modifier will change. Now it could go down depending on how badly you roll, but it could also go up. Let's see. So with a You said an 18? Great. Okay, with an 18, the jingle that you hear is definitely not the ice cream truck, but it feels like the ice cream truck because it's definitely something from your childhood. You haven't heard that in years, but you equate it with something that made you really happy, and that you definitely link with your parents. Something that made you really happy that you did with your mom and dad, but you can't quite put it together. It definitely wasn't ice cream. It wasn't something like that, but it was definitely some place that you went with your parents and probably your brother, that you could hear this all the time, but it's just like it's not coming to you what it is.
Okay. I'm gonna hang up the receiver. I'm gonna pull out my notebook. I'm gonna jot down everything that's happened so far. Do I know where Bella lives?
Yeah, you would know where Bella lives. She lives probably not that far from you, actually. In that little neighborhood where most people live. There's like a house, probably like a few minutes walk away from you. You've seen Bella and her wife be on the front porch sometimes, so you would assume that's probably her house.
And I'm how far away from there right now?
You're probably like a 10-minute walk, give or take. Like I said, it's not a super big town. You can get pretty much anywhere on foot.
I'm damn it. I'm gonna keep all of this to myself in my notebook. I'm gonna put my notebook away.
Okay.
I'm going to then walk out of the phone booth, and I'm just going to keep walking and head toward the precinct.
Okay. When you get out of the phone booth, Maya is going to turn to you and say, "So who's on the phone?"
I have no idea.
What do you mean you have no idea? You picked up the phone.
I did. It was a name I didn't recognize, and then a bunch of gibberish.
Well, who are they looking for?
They didn't say.
Well, then what did they say?
They said it was someone named Penelope. And then...
Tom, can I please have a memory check?
Okay, so what am I rolling for memory check? I have my -2 modifier.
Yes, so it is your -2 plus your intuition plus a d20.
Gotcha. So -4. I rolled an 8. That's a 4.
Okay, so a 4 is definitely a failure. A 4 is not going to get you pretty much anything. You're clueless. Everything that was just said gives you absolutely nothing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be generous. Roll that again. I'm letting you roll this with favor because of your tattoos.
That was a 9, so -4 makes it 5.
Daggone it, I am trying to throw you a bone here.
I improved it a little bit.
Just lower that DC, girl.
I'm lower than a 10?
So close.
So you don't get anything from what was just said. It all just whoop, right over your head. But Maya will actually also roll a memory check because there is something in that would affect her.
I'm just like, what?
Yeah, you have no idea what's going on. Maya, though, she does also have a -2, but she has a +2 to her intuition, which means those cancel each other out. and she rolled a nat 20.
Ah.
So while Maya is not a playable character in the story, in this instance, I think her memory will probably help. Penelope. It was Penelope?
They said it was from Penelope.
What was it? What was from Penelope?
It was some kind of song.
What kind of song?
I don't know. It sounded like an ice cream truck.
Like an ice cream truck. Penelope was my best friend. Growing up, Penelope was the name of my best friend.
What? Did that just come back to you?
Yeah, I haven't thought about her in years. I haven't been able to think about her in years. But my best friend's name was Penelope. From the time we were in elementary school until we got to high school, and then she disappeared. Or she went on holiday. That's what they say, but I don't think anybody actually goes on holiday. Penelope was my best friend, and one day she was just gone. And if that was from Penelope, it might have been something really important. I need you to think. What was it? Like, it was like an ice cream truck, but what was it?
I don't know.
Well, can you and she takes out her notebook or like her drawing pad and flips to a fresh page and just starts like writing things down. Like she writes Penelope, and she starts like writing down different things like red hair, freckles, like just anything that she can think of that would be Penelope, but she seems very freaked out.
I will. Was it a repetitive tune?
Yeah.
I will hum a bit of it.
And with that, and with a nat 20 that I will honor, even though she's not a BC, Maya recounts the story to you all of her and Penelope going with Maya's mom to a place that they loved very much.
Was it the toy store?
It is the toy store.
Ah, I fucking knew it.
So, Penelope and me and my mom, she took us to this toy store. I don't think it's around anymore. I haven't heard about it in ages. But it was God, what was it called?
Do I know the name of the toy store?
You don't. You just
Okay.
know that it was an old toy store. But you have the coordinates to what that store was. But my mom used to take us to this toy store, and that jingle played like every time somebody walked in the door, and it was so popular, and so it was like on a loop, even though it wasn't even meant to be on a loop. And there were shelves everywhere. I got this teddy bear, and Penelope had a matching one, and they had red ribbons. Why do I remember that? Why can I remember that? And you just sort of see tears fall very silently. Like she doesn't make noise, but tears just fall, and they smear the words that she's written on the page of Penelope, red hair, freckles. And that's all that she writes. It seems like it might be all she can remember of what Penelope looks like.
I'm going to close her notebook or her sketch pad, and say, "Do not let anyone see this."
She just nods, but she's not saying anything else. But she nods and she tucks it back into her bag.
I know the toy store you're talking about. I planned to take a look at it myself.
Can I come with you?
As long as you can not get caught, yes.
I'll be fine.
We'll go at night.
Okay. Yeah. From what you remember, this toy store, or abandoned toy store rather, is on the northeast side of town. It's like one of a few buildings that are scattered up there. There's not really people like that live up there. There are like really small offices that people use for private stuff. It honestly is probably where your office is, but it's not in a busy part of town at all. The closest thing to it is the Capitol building, and that's like a solid couple blocks away.
What I know that again, this is a random question.
No, you're fine.
Because it depends on what time of year it is. What time is sunset?
It is in a very similar part of the year to right now, where it gets dark at 5 o'clock and ruins my whole life.
I know. God, it really does. So I will tell her to meet me there around 4:30, so when dusk kind of starts to hit, and just kind of, obviously I'm having this conversation in front of the other two. That's up to them if they decide to tag along. I'm not inviting them. I'm just going to kind of tell her to meet me there at 4:30.
Maya will nod and I'll be there. I'll be there. And then she'll sort of look at the two of you. Are you two gonna come with us? I don't know what just happened. I haven't thought about Penelope in a long time. Definitely not since I got reset last. Probably before that too. Like I said, she disappeared in high school. I don't know what's happening, but I just think numbers are safe right now. And like, what if you all start to remember stuff and then you don't have people with you? They could find you, and numbers are safer, especially when they come in numbers too.
Yeah, let's stick together.
Yeah, absolutely.
After I tell her to meet me at 4:30, I just walk off.
Okay, then I'll see you guys at 4:30.
Yeah.
You all know where it is, right?
I pull out the paper and I ask her to point at it.
She points to like a small building up in like the top right corner. It looks like it's got a little awning drawn on it that might be striped. But that's like as much of a descriptor on it as there really is.
Okay.
As I'm walking away, I pull out the burner phone, and I text the number back who texts me, and I ask, what am I looking for?
A few minutes later, you get a text back, and it just says words that lead to the truth.
Okay. What time is it? It's still around noon?
It's probably like 1:30-ish at this point. You've probably got a solid few hours.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and head to the precinct
Okay, cool.
to talk to my brother.
That sounds lovely. You go ahead and head towards the precinct. You cut south back through downtown. The precinct is not too far away from Bella's, but it's like a couple streets over. You can pretty easily avoid the area around Bella's to get there. When you do like finally get to the precinct, the guy that's at the front desk just sort of like gives you the little salute thing.
I flash my badge and just kind of.
Yeah, he's seen you here a million times. He's really not that worried about it. He's logging a bunch of stuff into a computer. It looks like an actual nightmare. He's got like a stack of files this big, but he's just typing away and just kind of like waves you through, and he hits the button so you can go through the door. As you go through like the back where everybody's desks and stuff are, people just sort of like wave or say, hey Quinn, and that sort of thing. And one guy in particular yells that Riley is upstairs.
Thanks, Belle. I'll go find him.
So you head upstairs. Riley has his own office upstairs. Like he's by no means like the head of the department, but he's done really well, especially for being his age and for being his experience. They really look at him as somebody that's like very important to the team.
So I walk in, and the first thing I say is, apologies, no coffee. For some reason, Bella's was closed to the public.
It seems weird, but I mean, Bella and Marion have their own things going.
That's fair.
It could be something with the kids, maybe.
Possibly.
I mean, with her wife being a teacher and all, Bella's normally the one to stay home with them, so. But yeah, how was your morning? You're here a little later than usual.
Yeah, it was weird. I went to go to Bella's, and there's a lot of activity outside, and I just kind of avoided it. I just took the long way around.
Yeah, probably smart. You good? Like, you got any cases going or anything like that?
I don't. I was coming to bother you to see if you had anything that you guys can't handle right now.
I mean, I think we're pretty good. It seems to be really slow lately. I don't super know why, but like, hey, I won't question it.
That's
if
fair.
The universe wants to give me a couple days off, I'll take it. After all that stuff we had last month, we were busy I was working like 16-hour days. It was
that was
the worst.
That was not great.
Yeah. But yeah, like everything seems real easy at the moment. But if I get anything, I can hit you up. I'll just send you a text.
Yeah, that sounds great.
But yeah, in the meantime, I guess do whatever it is you do when you're not working with us. I don't really know what that is.
To be fair, I don't really know what that is either. But
take some time off, little sis. You deserve it.
How are you? How are things on the home front? Everything okay?
Good. Yeah, everything's fine. Me and Charlotte broke up.
I'm not gonna lie, I saw that one coming.
Yeah, I think I should have probably too. There were like red flags all over the place.
Yeah, she was just an entire bucket of red flags.
Yeah, give me an observation check.
8.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll
Okay.
totally work. So you're like looking around while you have this conversation, and like you see the usual things have changed. The pictures of Charlotte are gone. That were in the room. Not super shocking considering a breakup. He didn't want to keep them up, to have to like look at her. You can kind of tell that this has maybe rocked him a little bit more than he's letting on. But you also, because of your lesson, get a free document that happens to sit in this room.
I do get a document.
So for this document that you get in this room, you see open on his desk. It's upside down, but you can read what it says still. It seems to be a list of businesses in the area, just like almost what's like a good way to put this? It's like just a rundown of like every business, what category they sort of fit in, who owns it, their phone number, like the address of the place, things like that. On the bottom of this document, you see just pretty much a section of like abandoned places, like places that need to be sold to somebody new, turned into something new, something like that. And on that document, you see Wonderland Toy Store, which at one point looked like it was owned by somebody named Jeffrey Kahn. Yes, Jeffrey Kahn. That is the name I went with. But it's got Jeffrey Kahn's phone number, the address of Wonderland Toy Store. But that's pretty much all you see.
I'm going to give him a hug. Make sure that not all the guys can see, but I'm gonna give him a hug. I'm gonna be like, look, breakups are never easy, and I know Charlotte was a hell of a person to be with, so I'm sure this is not an easy one to get through. You can always call me. We can go grab a drink, whatever you need to do. You know how to find me. You know what I was thinking about earlier? I don't remember if it was on the radio or maybe just walking. Do you remember that old toy store that Mom and Dad used to take us to?
I remember like hearing that they took us to them. I don't remember like a specific trip. But yeah, like mom talked about taking us there for sure. Yeah. It had that weird jingle that played every time you walked through the door, right?
Yeah, I heard that jingle today, and it just immediately made me think about it. Do you remember the name of that place?
Wonder Ball? No, that's not right. No. Wonderland?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. That's so weird.
Like I said, there were like stories of Mom and Dad taking us there, but all I remember is that stupid jingle. I don't think that thing will ever get out of my head. Yeah.
I mean, did you
heard that today?
Yeah, it was really weird.
It hasn't been a real store for years, and you look and you can see your brother's pen is purple, which means your brother hasn't been erased in a couple years. Yeah. Which is fortunate considering his line of work. It probably should have happened way sooner than this. Yeah. But for right now, he hasn't been wiped in a couple years. That store hasn't been open for a while. Where in the world did you hear that?
I don't know. I heard the tune. I don't remember where I heard it, but it just immediately, I heard it and I thought, I know that song. And then I remembered Mom and Dad used to take us there, but I couldn't remember the name of it. Do you know whatever happened to that place? Like, is there any official record of what happened?
I mean, not that I'm aware of. I guess it just shut down. I mean, people decide they don't want to run a place anymore. Like,
that's fair. You would think a toy store would stay open though, you know?
Yeah, I can't imagine they did badly. I think it was popular. Like, I feel like it was a place a lot of people went.
I mean, I know we went there multiple times. I can't remember them exactly, but I know we've been there, especially enough to recognize that jingle.
Yeah, we had to have been there at least a few times. I'm like, I imagine other kids went too, but like I don't for the life of me remember what the place looked like.
Huh. That's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, who would have known? Huh. And he just sort of looks at you for a second, almost like he's like trying to fit puzzle pieces together that won't quite fit. But he just, after a minute, seems fine and goes back to his paperwork.
Okay. All right. So, what are you doing tomorrow night? What is your shift rotation right now?
Right now I'm on days, so in the evenings and nights I'm off unless something like really bad happens I need to go take care of. But like, you know what really bad means for us, like, you know.
That's fair.
Petty theft and all that.
You know, well, if you're bored, since I don't have anything going on, we could go grab dinner, maybe a drink.
Yeah,
catch up.
For sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds perfect, honestly. Yeah, I'll text you and we'll figure out the time and place to meet. That way, in case something comes up for you or something, like
That's fair.
we can adjust. But yeah, I would really like that. It's been a while since we did that.
Okay.
For sure.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to
I-
go home and hope that someone emails or calls me with something to do.
Go for it. And also, please enjoy your time to relax. Not
Yeah.
like you do that often, but like read a book for fun. Like I know you like to do that, but you don't have time to do that. Read a book for fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna start reading again in my downtime. So,
Wonderful. Very excited.
So
Very
then-
excited you get some time off.
Thank you.
I'll be here entering more paperwork into a computer. if
You
need.
should also take some time off at some point.
I know I should. And honestly, like I've got PTO out the wazoo. It's just like, when they want me for this, that, and the other, and then like the one day you think you get a break, like a dog disappears or something, and then it turns out that they like just ran to Everett. Like,
I know.
Yeah.
But take some time. You got a
Yeah.
lot going on.
yeah, that's fair. Maybe I'll take some time off soon. Maybe take like a long weekend or something.
I owe you a coffee. I'll try and get you one as soon as I can.
Oh, don't worry about it too much. If one of Bella's kids is sick, she'll be home for a few days.
That's fair. All right. Well, I will talk to you later. Have a good day.
You too, sis. Be safe.
I'll try. And then I'm going to head immediately home.
Yeah, absolutely. While she's at the precinct, what are you two doing with your lives?
I am walking around the park and heading back south,
Okay.
back to town, kind of.
Is there anything particular you'd like to do in town, or are you just trying to match up places from Maya's map to like figure things out?
I'm kind of doing that on my way to. I'm trying to meet up with Teddy.
Okay, cool. So Teddy, I imagine, has probably texted you. He's finally awake. He has made some of his own noon coffee as per your warning to not go get it at Bella's. So he texts you back and just goes like, yeah, meet me south side. Let's meet up at that park. The one that's connected to that huge parking lot, whatever that thing's named. But you know the one. There's only one like child park, like with swings and stuff, that's near a huge parking lot in town. It just happens to like cut you through downtown to go down there. So you can definitely do that, and on the way you can just sort of like match up buildings and markings, like Piper Lane, Raven Road, like you have to go through all of those to eventually get to where you would like to go. So you can sort of see, and Maya's map is very accurate. It's like almost drawn to scale. Every building is perfect. Anything that's got like a defining feature on it, Maya's added, like the striped awning on Wonderland Toy Store, or like this place like has umbrellas, but like not on the fourth table because that umbrella blew away in the wind, so like that umbrella's gone. But like all the other tables
It's
have
like
the umbrellas.
Amber's maps.
It's Amber's maps. Yeah, very, very accurate of what Maya has written out for you, until eventually you get down to this small park and you see Teddy sitting on a swing.
I take the seat next to him, or
What's-
swing next to him.
Yes. What's up, Tom? What's up? I'm only one coffee in. It's only 1:30. It is still too early today. But what's happening?
Well, I just had something that woke me up way more than any coffee could. And I think it'll wake you up too, man. Some shit went down at the coffee shop.
Like what?
Like bunch of dudes in white suits poured in, pulled out syringes, and this was after like a big explosion happened in the kitchen. Like Marco was fucking torched, man.
You mean tag teamers, Kate?
Yeah. I kept hearing that word.
You don't remember tag teamers?
Like, it's been really fucking spotty lately, man.
No, Tom, look at me. Do you remember tag teamers? Like the term, like before today, before you saw them, did you know that term?
I think so.
You think so or you know so, because those are two very different things.
Like everything was happening so fast, like maybe like the adrenaline got too much and I was starting to like second guess myself.
Now that you think about it, you don't think you did know the term tag teamers before this happened today.
Mm-hmm.
Like that wasn't a thing in your memory.
Yeah.
Tom, if you didn't remember tag teamers before today, something's wrong. Like, no, listen to me. Something is very wrong. I know the last time you were wiped was 5 months ago. Because I'm the one that picked you up. I know that. But when you got out, when they like re-upped you on the world, when they like re-explained where you were and what your name was and what you did as a job, they should have explained that to you. And if they didn't, something went wrong. Like either they didn't tell you everything, or they didn't brief you, or you don't remember being briefed. What happened? Like, do you know your name? Obviously. You know where you live? Obviously. But like, what do you remember from after you came back last time?
I fucking woke up in my bed, man. Like, I don't remember shit.
Oh no.
I woke up like every other fucking morning.
No, that's not how this is supposed to work. Tom, I think something went wrong.
Fuck. Pulls out a pack of cigarettes and starts kind of swinging a little bit.
Please give me one too.
Hands it over.
And Teddy is going to smoke with you. Tom, I thought something went wonky after last time. I get it. Like everybody just wakes up in their bed. That's what happens. And like you stay at home for a few days and you're sick and you come back to the world and it's like whatever. And your pin's pink all of a sudden. And so that like lets the world know like, hey, help this one along. Right. And like that's how we work as like a society or whatever. But you should have known like about tag teamers, like about what happens if you see something bad. Like that's part of the brief. Like we've literally all had it. Part of the brief is that they explain to you like what the government is and what it does when bad stuff happens.
Maybe I was still like kind of under when they gave me the brief.
Dude, you're gone for days. Like you're only asleep for like 24 hours and then you're awake for days and then they just put you back to sleep so they can put you in bed.
Maybe they did something fucking else to me, man.
Tom, you gotta watch out, okay? Just like be very mindful of like how you're thinking, what you're thinking about. Like, and like if you're about to get wiped again, like SOS me. I like obviously I can't stop it. Like they're huge and they could pound me into the ground. But I'll know and I'll be able to watch out for when you're back. Okay?
All right. I appreciate that, man.
I got you, always.
Like it's just really fucked up. Like I'm using a map to walk around my fucking hometown right now.
Okay, so
And I don't even remember asking for it.
You didn't ask for it. I asked for it for you.
Oh, thank God. I thought I was fucking losing it, man.
Yeah, no, you haven't been able to get anywhere. I got Maya to draw you the map because like I tried to draw it and then it didn't look like the town, man. It looked like squares. So I got Maya to draw it for you.
Like it's been really helpful. Oh, and as he like reaches in for it, he realizes that he still has those papers and files in his jacket.
Yes,
He's like,
you
oh,
do.
whenever I was running out of Bella's, like trying to find the exit, I accidentally stumbled into her office and saw this shit just all over the ground. And so I quickly just picked it up, not thinking about it, and I just start looking through it with Teddy.
Yeah. So all of these documents, go ahead and give me like investigation. Yeah, we'll call it that. Why not?
That was a 10.
Look at you go. So essentially what these papers look like at first glance are inventory lists, like this is like our flower supplier and blah blah blah. What it actually is, if you look at the way that it's written a little bit differently, these are things that Bella was keeping track of, like things that happened around town, how often people were coming into the shop, when people were gone for certain amounts of time, when they came back, if their pin was still the color it was when they left, things like that. Like Bella was very much keeping a tight ship on every customer that had a Polaroid in the shop. She had notices of like if somebody was gone for too long, or if they left with a blue pin and came back with a pink pin, things like that. Bella had a hold of every bit of it. And
Damn.
you can like look through and you see most of the past 6 months, but about 5 months ago those documents are gone.
Yeah.
Like just like a few weeks worth of paperwork is gone. Everything else, like the first solid couple weeks and then everything after that, is all there. It's just about like a 3-week span that happened about 5 months ago.
Tom is starting to think that is what people came in there. That was their goal, was to get those files, to see who disappeared then, and kind of relays that to Teddy and starts like connecting red fucking string in his head a little bit. It's like, do you think like all that shit that happened down at Bella's today was like on purpose? Because of like all the shit that she's been keeping track of?
Like a distraction? Like somebody came in to steal these and was like, oh, by the way, just let me catch the kitchen on fire?
Like, maybe they wanted a reason to get in there and wipe her.
They got Bella. They got Bella?
She didn't come out with us. We heard a scream, and she was supposed to be the last one out that door.
Oh God, poor Marion. And the kids. I mean, it's entirely possible. But like, what happened 5 months ago that was so important? If like everything else is still here.
Yeah.
So something happened 5 months ago that mattered.
I guess we gotta find that shit out, man.
Well, I'll see what I can dig up. McCoy owes me a favor.
Okay, we'll see how that turns out.
Not well, I'm sure, but he needed a front man for a job a couple months ago, and as somebody who exclusively works behind the curtain, he certainly wasn't going to do it. So I volunteered, and the guy said that down the line, if I needed something, to give him a call. So I'll see if I can find out what happened in crime circles, 5-ish months ago. Could be that they pulled off something big and Bella noticed.
And maybe see if like he can help take care of her family for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because she's
likes
been good
Bella
to
a
all
lot.
of us. This whole fucking town.
Yeah. She's a sweetheart. Honestly, like I don't think anybody could ever be Bella's enemy. But yeah, I'm sure he can take care of Marion and the kids for a couple months. At least until Bella's back and the coffee shop's back and all that. Just am gonna have to get my noon coffee at home, which is
I think I have to go out and buy fucking almond milk now.
oh, that's even more depressing.
That's so bad for the environment. Don't do it.
I mean, like I'm an oat milk man myself, but like, hey, But this is just so sad. I'll get a hold of McCoy though. He's gonna be downtown tonight, so I'll go see what I can pull off. You got plans?
Nothing really. I don't really feel like doing shit right now. I might just go home, just chill out in my basement. I can test out some new product.
Go for it. Let me know how it hits.
All right.
And with that, we'll pop over to Calvin, who I'm sure is probably not getting stoned in any way.
Not typically.
He's getting high on the Lord.
Yep. High on Jesus.
Straight up
that
high
burning
on
bush, right?
Jesus.
Fantastic. So Calvin, where did you head off after the exchange at the phone booth?
I'm gonna go home and change into something light and try to go for a run to like clear my head after this. Maybe try to loop relatively close to Bella's to see if there's something like going on there still, but not getting close enough to be like, oh, hello, I was here earlier today at 11 a.m.
Fair. So yeah, you can absolutely go for a run. You go ahead and head out, starting around the neighborhood, obviously, and then heading in toward downtown. And as you get sort of towards Bella's, you can see the last of the freezer trucks driving away. Now it just looks like there's like a couple people from the fire department just like finishing putting up some tape and a notice on the window that just says Bella's will be closed for repairs for a couple of days. But other than that, it's almost like nothing happened. Like you can glance through the window and see all the tables and chairs have been put back. The floor's been swept. There's not a body anywhere. No syringes or needles. Any of the equipment that was destroyed has just been kind of cleaned up and put who knows where. You can't see it through the window, so you assume probably in a back room or something. You can't see through to the kitchen either, but the front looks fine, like almost like nothing happened this morning. And if you hadn't been there, there would be no evidence to show you that something was wrong.
And no one is around, like, keeping a look on the area or anything?
Not that you can see. Just like I said, the last of the trucks are gone. At least out front, you don't see anybody.
Okay, I don't want to stay too long and test my luck. I'll keep going.
Okay, so you keep running. You go back through the neighborhood, and another phone booth rings.
Oh, this isn't weird and terrible. Gonna roll my eyes, cross myself again, and open it up.
I don't think Jesus is gonna save you from the phone.
Look.
So you step into the phone booth.
First of all things are possible through Christ, so write that down.
Oh,
We're gonna offend so many people.
probably.
But look, let's be real. If they're watching our stream, they should know by now.
That's fair. So you walk into the phone booth. You
Yep.
close the door. You pick up the phone. Do you say anything when you pick up the phone?
I'm just gonna stutter out a hello?
Hello,
Feeling
Calvin.
very stupid. Oh, great. Okay.
This is a message from the Reality Corporation. We have a message for you from Penelope. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Say no.
It starts ringing again, like it's patching through to somebody. But then when it picks up, it does the same again, just like it did for Quinn earlier. Hello, this is the Reality Corporation. We have a message for you from Penelope. This message will play now. When it's done, please hang up the phone and exit the booth and await for further instructions from the Reality Corporation. But this time, instead of, you don't hear a jingle, you don't hear a voice, you just hear, crying. It just sounds like a girl weeping. And she's breathing very heavily in between sobs, and then all of a sudden you just hear a crash. Like this sound of metal hitting metal, and she screams. and then the line goes dead.
God, I'm so glad I got a dumb jingle.
I'm gonna slowly hang it up and step out of the booth.
Cool. Very good call. And with that, you move along your run, if you would like, or you can do something else.
Is that significant to me?
The phone booth?
No, the call, the sound.
Oh,
Other than being really fucking weird.
you can give me a memory check if you would like.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Don't fuck it up or your memory modifier gets worse.
Oh, sweet, no pressure.
We would
Pull out that
Don't
pride
see it
die.
went down
Where's
by
that
one.
pride die? It always rolls well.
Pride die is not participating in this game. It's only for trolling
Oh, that reminds me.
the players.
Drew, yours would have gotten worse earlier, which I forgot to tell you.
All right.
So you would go down to -4.
Not -3.
No,
-4?
because you failed by 5.
Gotcha.
It doubles
So
every time. Next time is -8.
You get you get -1 for failing, and then for every 5 you fail by, you get an additional -1, and you failed by 5.
I told you I don't remember shit.
You gotta
So
get
yeah,
some better drugs, man.
you're down to -4, which is very unfortunate because that puts you at a -6 for your next time you try, because your intuition's at a -2 already.
Eesh.
Oh, damn.
So with my modifier, I got a 15.
Oh yeah, you're golden. Not enough to get you a full memory, but it's definitely enough to get you a snippet of things. You feel obviously very worried. Like, that's a distressing call to get. But you feel distressed almost in another way. Like, it's a very personal, like, panic. Like somebody, there's a difference between seeing somebody that is a stranger to you in danger and seeing somebody that you care about in danger. You feel the second one right about now. So while you have no idea who Penelope is, or even if that was specifically Penelope on the other end of the line, although you suspect it probably was, you feel like you're supposed to do something to try to help her. Like, more than in the way that you normally do as somebody who is like a man of faith and like very devout to helping people. Like, this feels personal, and it's very, very scary to know that sort of crash just happened and a scream just happened and then the line went dead. So you have no closure to what happened in that moment. And you don't know if it was live, you don't know if it was recorded, but there's like a very personal feeling of somebody that I care about is very much in danger, and I do like that helpless feeling of I don't know how to help.
It sounded like a car crash, maybe. Is there like a Google Maps thing where I can look at traffic and see if maybe there's a delay somewhere nearby that like might be a wreck?
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
don't
can,
know,
you
that's-
can look on your phone, but there's nothing that's been reported. There is no like car crashes or anything like that live. Give me an intuition check.
Sweet. I only have a D6 for that. I'm realizing this was a terrible decision. 3.
With a 3, you would say that a car crash is likely from what you heard. Like the sound of like metal scraping on metal is like ringing in your head almost, like it will not leave. So some sort of accident like that is very much possible. But I will say that with what you've seen on your phone, it seems evident that whatever you heard was not live.
don't know if I have anything more to go on than that. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna let it stick in my craw and freak me out for a while.
Yeah, that's about all you can do.
When did Maya say that she disappeared?
She just said when they were in high school. Now, from like looking at Maya, you can tell she's pretty young. Like probably like early to mid 20s. So I like 6 to 7 to 8 years ago, somewhere in that time frame, is probably when she was in high school.
Okay. I will do one thing before I actually go home. I'm gonna go down to Bella's house.
Okay.
I will write on a piece of paper out of my notebook. Explosion/fire in the kitchen. Bella has been wiped, and I will just stick it in like the mail slot of the door.
Okay.
And then go to my house.
Okay. When you leave, everything looks normal. Like the kids' bikes are in the yard. There's not a car at the house, so you could probably assume that Marion took the kids somewhere. You're not super sure where, but you all are like in like a central part of town, so it could maybe that they went to the park or to get ice cream. Who knows? But wherever they are, somebody is sure to get that note when they come home.
And then I'm gonna go home, and in the few hours I have left before dusk, I'm going to take my brother's advice and go straight to the bookshelf and pull out my favorite book, which is The Great Gatsby, and go in and log everything so far that has happened today.
So you pull on The Great Gatsby and hear a small click before the bookshelf turns out just like a door. You step inside your secret room that you keep all of your investigative work in, to see your wall is exactly as you left it. There are pins of newspaper articles that you've like screenshotted from your phone and printed out. There are pictures of different people around town, some of which aren't here anymore. They have been presumed on holiday for all intents and purposes. And some that are still around town, some that, maybe are gone for a little bit at a time, in and out, things like that. You also have like different places pinned up. And one of your current pins are those coordinates that you were sent in that text message. But other than that, you've got, your computer, your desk, everything set up in here that you would need, as well as your keypad on the wall that would allow you to, burn the place should all go south.
I'm gonna update. I'm gonna put like a note around Bella's, like kind of update Bella's coffee, Bella's brews, fire in kitchen, everyone wiped, I'm gonna put explosion in kitchen, everyone wiped.
Yep.
I am going to go to the coordinates. I am going to put the information I gleaned from the paper in the precinct. So Wonderland Toy Shop, the person who owned it. And then I'm also going to make a note about Penelope and the jingle. I'm trying to think. I'll probably make 2 new kind of like people cards. I feel like an asshole because I didn't get their names. But but like, would I know them? Would I know their names? Like, we're a small
Who?
town, right?
Whose
Like,
names?
Tom and Calvin. Like, would I know who they are?
Oh yeah, you would know them from
Yeah.
around at least. You would definitely know Calvin, because he's like training to take over for the priest when the time should come. He's one of 3 that has been chosen to possibly take over for the priest. They always have to keep backups for obvious reasons. Tom is probably pretty well known in your line of work for like
I figured.
not the best
I figured like
reasons.
if I knew anyone, I'd probably know Tom.
Yeah. You know Calvin for just reasons of like he is somebody to be seen around town because it's like a very big deal to be chosen to take over for the priest or like possibly do so. Tom is definitely notable for reasons that you know because of your line of work.
Of course.
A particular individual.
A particular
Yes,
individual.
A particular individual.
I'm gonna kind of make notes that they were there with me. And make a note on my and then kind of just close everything up. And does a nap count as a rest?
A nap does count as a rest.
Sweet. I'm gonna take a nap and set an alarm for like 4 o'clock.
Lovely. And that nap will get you 5 points back because it's short.
I only used 3.
Well then perfect. You're back up to full.
Sweet.
Don't you love it? So that's perfect. Has everybody done what they would like to do before 4 o'clock rolls around?
Tom's gonna go back to his house. He's gonna turn on his stereo system in the basement, roll up a little something of a new package, and
Lovely.
see if the music does what happened last time. Because last time he listened to one of his favorite bands, he experienced a feeling during a song, and he's trying to chase that again.
Okay, so you go ahead and you smoke to your heart's desire. Go ahead and give me a memory check.
-6, right?
Minus
-6.
Oof.
10 on the die.
Look at you go.
Oh,
And that's a
no.
wait. Okay, so that's wait.
It's a 4.
a 4. You rolled a d20, right?
Oh,
This is the most unfortunate thing that I've ever heard in my life. Okay,
no.
this is fine. Okay, so you got a 4. You don't feel much of anything except for really high. Like I'm not sure what you just smoked. But like I don't think it was good what you just smoked. Yeah, you get nothing. Like you're just sitting in your basement, you're stupid high, and there's literally nothing else happening. And it's like the unfortunate kind of high. Like you're not enjoying yourself at all. You are not here for a good time nor a long time. Like it is just really bad. And with that, you get another minus. This time you only get a -1 at least because I lowered the DC because I was very worried. Like you still failed, but like so
Oh, God.
-7 total now.
You gotta
Not impossible to come back from.
You
but
gotta
very
stop
possible.
trying your own stash, man. That's
Yeah,
like
you
the
really-
#1 rule. Like, don't use your own stash.
You got to sample sometimes. I send Teddy a text saying, "Don't touch it, just sell it."
Okay. Teddy texts back and goes, "Yeah, sounds good. I don't even want to know what brought that on." So Teddy has gotten the message to not do what you just did. But yeah, you don't feel or hear or nothing. You got nothing.
Yeah, and I just chill out for a little bit until it's time for to head to the toy store.
I mean, you're stoned in your basement. Sounds great. Sounds like a super.
Just think
fun
about what kind
time.
of toys I'm gonna see later.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so by the time 4 o'clock rolls around, your alarm has gone off. We have everybody is sort of back to their wits. Tom's still a little off, but considering how much he consumes, that's not too bad for him.
That's fair. Should we call it here, and we can
I
pick
was-
up?
I was just going to call
Okay,
it here in a few
alright,
minutes
okay.
as soon as we
Okay.
got to the front of this place. So right about 4:30, you all roll up in front of what used to be Wonderland Toy Store. It is decrepit from the outside. It's worn out. The paint that was, you can tell, was a really pretty light blue color. It's just peeling from the front. The awning that Maya drew is just in disrepair at this point. Like, it's falling apart. But it's recognizable as what was once Wonderland Toy Store. It even still has part of the sign hanging up, but it's just like every few letters. So it's like a W, and then an L, and then an N, and then like the Y from toy is still up. If you didn't know what this place was, you would just assume it was just like some abandoned, rickety old place. Like, not that it held memories for anybody, because something this run down for everybody in a town that is now so happy because they regularly get their minds wiped, wouldn't remember anything about being here if it hadn't been for a call earlier that reminded you, and some coordinates from somebody, but who knows who. So the four of you gather outside of this place, and what would you like to do?
I get ready to break in.
I am going to find a back door and not try and go in the front of a building that's near the main civic building.
I just want to touch on this really quick. Tom, are you just trying to enter the front door?
Fuck no. I'm a smart criminal.
Cool. I'm just making sure.
Just double checking.
You also just got very high in your basement. I feel the need to qualify some things.
That's a very important distinction.
Calvin, what is your first thought on this situation?
This is pretty unfamiliar territory. I think I'm gonna defer to Tom.
All right, you can be lookout.
Yeah,
Not
sure.
me.
Maya's like just kind of following everybody's lead. She doesn't super know what she's doing. Like, she knows that it probably seems like she's more into this stuff than she is, because she helped Tom this morning with a map, but like, it was more of like a personal favor to Teddy that she did that. So she's not super into the crime scene either, but she's paying attention and going along, and she's helping to find a back door, which you all find pretty easily in the alleyway that's in between this and the next building over. There's a door very similarly to the one you busted out of at Bella's this morning.
I'm gonna see if it opens on its own, which I'm assuming it doesn't.
And no, it absolutely does.
Oh, it does. Oh, okay.
It does.
Wow. All right. I thought I was gonna have to use my lockpicks.
No,
Look at me go.
no, this door is wide open.
All right. So I'm going to slowly make my way into the creepy, decrepit toy store that I know you're gonna fill with creepy dolls.
Do you all go with her?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you all file in. Maya is with you as well. And you are shocked by what you see, not because it's creepy and abandoned and full of cobwebs, but because it's lacking all of that. This place looks fine. You're currently what looks like an extra storeroom, like for leftover inventory, probably. There are toys everywhere. The shelves look super nice. Like, there's no dust anywhere. They're all like the metal shelf racks that they just hold extra toys, teddy bears in boxes, like dolls, like the little dogs that you can pull on a leash that have wheels. But all the toys look fine. In fact, they look better than fine. They look brand new, like they were just made.
Do we hear anything?
Give me an observation roll.
Another 10. That's a good fucking die.
So with that 10,
I got an 8.
oh, that'll work too. Yeah, that's fine. You all can hear like the moving of boxes not too far away from you. In fact, before you can even react to that, you see somebody. A guy looks like he's probably like mid-40s, like brown hair, that's like a little scruffed up because he's been working and stuff down here probably for a couple hours at least, it seems, from all the boxes that have been moved. But he just kind of looks at you all confused and goes, "Hello? Um, did you all mean to come in the front? There's somebody up front if you wanna like buy a toy." Hi,
It
I'm
looked
so
completely
sorry.
closed from the front
Did it? Did they
when we
forget
were
to
out
flip
there.
the open sign again? Oh yeah, no, it did. For sure. It looks decrepit. Like from the outside looking at it, you all would think that it's been abandoned for years.
I was like, no, there was no one out there. It looked like you guys were closed. No lights or anything.
I'm so sorry. She probably forgot to put the open sign on again. She's done that a couple of times, but it's like not a big deal. We're open for sure. She's like, one of my employees is upstairs. I'm so sorry. I should have introduced myself. My name's Jeffrey. Yeah. Yeah, I'm Jeffrey Kahn. I own this place. I own Wonderland Toy Store.
For how long?
Gosh, probably going on like 20 years now. Like I opened this place with my dad like right out of high school. Well, right when I got out of high school, obviously.
How much business do you see a day?
Like a fair amount. Like there's a pretty good amount of kids around here. Definitely could stand to be busier, but like I'm not in charge of how fast people have children, so.
Tom puts a hand on his concealed gun.
Yeah, I also, I'm gonna pull out my badge. And I am going to say, you know, no worries. I work with the police department. Just want to take a look around. There were some random complaints about defective toys. Just want to take a look around, make sure all your stock's okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm so sorry. I wish somebody would have told me about defective toys. I would have given those people a refund or something.
Yeah, no, we just want to take a look and make sure that it's not just people raising a fuss over nothing.
Oh yeah, no, you're like totally fine. This is like the backstory. This is stuff like that I'm just unloading. The stuff from the previous stock is either going to be in that room over there or like out on the sales floor.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. Do you mind if I take a look around?
Yeah, no, totally go for it. You care if I keep moving boxes? I'm sort of like on a time crunch.
No, go ahead. We'll check in before we leave.
Cool, yeah, for sure. And he goes back to moving boxes. He's very like not disturbed by your presence.
I'm gonna go to the front of the store.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So in the front of the store, you don't see anybody behind the counter, but like everything looks really nice. It could just be that girl you was talking about stepped away or something. But like all the toys look good on the shelves. There are like teddy bears and stuff like that. You pick up one of the teddy bears on the shelf, and on the tag, it's got like the manufacturer's name. It just says like my first teddy on it. They're really cute. They're like you can get like them in white or beige or gray, and they all have red ribbons wrapped around their neck.
I open the front door.
You open the front door and you just see outside.
Does the sound play?
Yes, the jingle plays like the minute you open the door. It's got one of those like sensors on the top of it, so anytime that the door passes the sensor, it'll play the jingle.
If I walk out through the door and look back in through the window, what do I see?
It looks decrepit and old. It looks abandoned. Like when you stand outside and you look at it, you don't see anybody or anything.
And looking through the open door, that's like through the door that's now open, I see normal things.
Yes, you see everything looks great. The shelves are beautiful. The toys are lined up. Everything looks perfect.
Hey guys, you're not gonna fucking believe this shit. And I kind of try to relay what I'm seeing.
I'm gonna go behind the counter and see if there's like a logbook or like if their register has. I don't know how up to date the register is since it's apparently been closed for years.
I mean, the register looks fine. There's cash in it. But I mean, like, everything looks like a regular store. You can see a log out on the desk. Somebody's been writing down like the stuff that they've sold lately. Probably just like keep up with inventory purposes.
And it's recent dates.
Yeah, like as recent as yesterday.
What the fuck? Okay. I am gonna go look in the other rooms.
Yeah, so the other room that he like pointed out, it's off of the main floor, so like customers can go into it if they would like to. It's just more shelves with more toys. And here there are like some electronic toys. There are also like there are teddy bears that can like talk and dolls that can talk. Like they're the like slightly more like modern toys, like for older kids probably, like whereas my first teddy is like for the younger crowd.
Yeah. Okay. I don't. What did that text say again?
When the one where you asked what you were looking for?
Yeah.
Words that tell the truth.
Words that tell the truth. I am going to go find Mr. Khan.
What?
And say everything looks good. No worries there. Oh no, we lost Orion.
Oh no, Ryan! Where'd you go?
We lost Orion.
Ryan!
He's still there. I think his camera just turned off.
Oh,
maybe.
okay. That's fine.
At least it still shows him in the chat. Okay, we'll find out. Let me see. Would you do me a favor? It's the weirdest thing, and I just want to get your opinion on it. Would you mind stepping out of the front door with me?
Yeah, for sure. We can do that. And he like follows you out towards the front door and just kind of yells. There's still nobody behind the counter, but he yells, "Cat, watch the store. I'll be right back."
Okay. Oh no!
Oh no! Now we're both the GM.
Both the GMs.
We're half and
Look
half
at me.
of the GM.
Look at me. I am the GM now.
It's just my eyebrows. My eyebrows are the only part that does the GM.
Oh my god. We're in the weirdest part.
Ryan, where'd you go?
Did he leave forever?
I don't know. Ryan?
Okay. We'll just...
He's not texting in the group chat.
Yeah, we're just gonna remove this. I'm gonna fix you. Hold on.
That's fine.
Internet.
His internet dropped.
Oh, internet.
Internet.
It's
So whenever he
just
said he
internet
called out to
love.
the person, did someone respond?
No.
He was going outside. No one responded. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna ask him. When you usually come to the store, do you come in the back door?
Yeah, normally there's just better parking back there, and like I don't want to block street view, you know what I mean? Like
That's
it's bad
fair.
for business to block street view, and I always like Kat must have forgot to do it this morning, but like we usually put a sign out that this is open and like has an arrow that points to the store. You know, like we're like a mom and pop shop, and we are like, I'm fully aware that people could drive to the next town over and be like at a big box store, but we're trying our best here.
Just come out front with me, would you mind?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I'm gonna walk out the door.
Okay.
And then turn him around.
You're gonna walk him out the door?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he disappears.
Oh God, Ryan came back!
At that moment, Ryan appears.
Fuck.
And it's at that moment I pull out my gun and ask what the fuck is happening, because I'm kind of baked.
Hold on. I gotta fix Ryan. Oh no.
Now it's just my mouth that's a GM. My eyebrows are you.
So I pull out my gun. Tell me this when before I shoot someone.
So I pull out my gun. Well, we better not, or we'll get YMCA'd.
No, we can't get YMCA.
We can't get
can't do
YMCA'd. God, I love Abria for that. She is my favorite. I'm fixing so fast.
You got this. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
Stream master for days.
I am definitely not a stream master.
You're working on it though, and I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Also, thank you for not volunteering me to actually stream master any of those indie games because I would fuck it up so bad.
Look, I just threw your hat in the ring for a possibility. I don't even know if Jenna's still in here.
Jenna,
I
if
think
you're
you do
still in
wonderful.
here, I love everything about your channel, and I don't want to fuck up your channel. So, this is okay. All right.
Look, we're all back.
Oh wait, shit. Hold on.
What?
Now we're all back. Okay, that's
Okay.
better. I forgot to put Ryan back behind the overlay. That's fine.
Oh, that's fair.
It's fine. Jenna, this is what I do. This is not what you should have on your channel.
You're wonderful. Don't worry about it. But yeah, as soon as you try to take him out the door, he just disappears.
Like he disappears.
Yep.
Okay, so like if I go inside the store
Odd.
Yes.
and I go back to the back of the store,
Okay.
Yes.
is he there?
Sorry.
Yes.
What? Okay.
And everything stayed how it was when he was in the store.
Yeah, everything still looks perfect. Not a toy out of place.
Can I try and take him out the back door?
You
for
can
fun?
certainly
I mean, I'm
try
gonna
if you'd
try.
like.
I know what's gonna happen, but I just gotta check all the bases.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him like, oh, can you show me where all the employees park? Just kind of trying to get the lay of the
Oh
land.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, follow me. It's just like out back this way. It's
Sure.
probably actually the door you all came through. Since you all just ended up back here. But yeah, sure. And he'll take you out back. He'll open the door for you and just like kind of like gesture for you to go first.
I stand in the spot he appeared in.
Can you show me
When
which
he
one's your?
leaves.
Oh no,
Ryan!
Ryan!
We're so close to wrapping up tonight. We're
I just
so
wanna-
close. There he
Oh,
is.
okay, all right.
We're
okay,
back.
Okay, all right. Hold
I
on.
don't know what's happening.
I just gotta move people. It's fine.
No, we're fine.
Oh, it worked. Okay.
We're in the right
It put us
place.
back. Okay.
Yeah.
Could you show me which one your car is, just to like see if I'll like step out the door?
Yeah, sure. And he like steps to the side. He won't. It looks like he won't step out the door first, not because like he like he won't in an aggressive way, but just like he just isn't thinking about it. He just like steps to the side and like points down the like kind of down the alleyway.
Fuck me. I'm so confused.
I run up behind him and push him out the fucking door.
The minute his body hits the threshold of the doorway, he just disappears.
Okay, I think we figured it out now.
Okay. Okay. This may be pushing it. Can any of my abilities be used to determine whether he is actually alive?
I mean, not like wording wise, not that I'm aware of. I say that like I don't remember. Reaper was like the very first one I came up with.
I know. Hold
So
on.
it's the one I remember the least.
I'm trying to find it. Okay.
Just
You
visiting.
may visit any land of the deceased. Be able to contact spirits for information when they feel like communicating. Roll an intuition check and see if they will take physical form.
I would say that is that you could be used, perhaps. You're just trying to determine Ryan, no. Ryan, no.
You're killing me, Ryan.
Just some technical difficulties,
You're killing
everybody.
me,
Don't worry
Ryan.
about it. It's because the internet keeps going out. Because, you know,
Of course it does.
life.
Okay, right? That's gonna work for right now.
That'll be fine.
You're not all the way down.
That's fine.
Or no, I'm sorry, that's me. You need to be in front of me. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay.
I would say we could use this that you. We'll modify it a little bit to just you can try to contact him as a spirit. And if the thing is with is that you it basically will compel a spirit to like come answer your questions and talk to you. If is that you is being used on a spirit that you can actually see, he'll just be compelled to answer questions. It won't bring him here. He's already here. I would allow you to use what could be if you would like to see if you can either see how, like, if he's a spirit, you would see how he died. If he's not a spirit, you see how he will die. But there's probably a pretty good sense if you would do that. Like, you'd be able to tell whether it's happened or not.
Yeah, let me do what could be.
Okay. Sounds beautiful. Go ahead and... Well, actually, you don't need to roll for that. So yeah, feel free to walk me through how you would like to do this.
Okay, so he obviously returns again.
Yes.
I am going to... I don't want to... Obviously, I'm not trying to do damage. I'm going to...
We'll just use the first part.
Yeah,
The
like
special sense part.
I'm gonna grab him on the shoulder and call that power that I have to the
Yes.
front and see what kind of vision I get from that.
You see through the eyes of Jeffrey Kahn, you see him walk into his store, go into the back room, and begin to go through boxes until all of a sudden the world goes black. You feel a massive pain in the back of your head. Like right at the base of your skull, almost like someone's hit you. Like, it is powerful, and it's just pure pain and like blinding, like the type of blinding pain where you see stars. You just feel that, see those stars, and then feel it again as the body collapses, and then the world is just black. But you get a strong sense that this is something that happened already. This isn't like a will occur thing. This happened.
Okay.
The Jeffrey Kahn that you see in front of you is dead and has been dead for a very long time. And from what you can surmise from that, he died when somebody broke into the toy store and came to rob him.
Okay. I'm going to thank him for all of his help. I'm gonna try and gather everyone and be like, we will leave you alone. Thank you so much for letting us check. You have a good day, and hopefully business keeps going as well as it has been.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm so sorry again about those defective toys. Can I just send you with a couple to like give to those people?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, just like come with me. I don't want to bother any of the ones back here. They're like new stock and we've got to like put them out in a certain order
Sure,
because like
sure,
manufacturing laws and all that. And he leads you all back up to the floor and then like over to that side room where the toys were for the older kids. And as you all walk in there, you see like kind of in the wall, like this must be able to be sectioned off for some reason, because all of a sudden that sectioned off part slams shut, so it's just you all in a room full of toys. And as you sort of look around, I'm assuming someone would like to try to move the thing back. Maybe not. Maybe you just want to stay in this room forever.
Yeah, moving that would probably be nice.
As you move to try, before you can even get over there, you hear in chorus what sounds like 100 voices. Obviously, like there can't even be 100 toys in this room, right? Like there's no way. But what sounds like 100 voices goes, Penelope sent you. We don't like Penelope. You don't get to go back to Penelope. And then everything goes black.
I
And
cock my gun and
when-
say, okay, fuck this shit.
And when the
I
lights come back
knew-
up, all of the dolls in the room have glowing red eyes.
I fucking hate you, Mallory.
And this is where we're gonna wrap up tonight.
I fucking hate you, Mallory.
No, you don't. You love me.
5 foot Latina, you are on it. I have very few things that I don't do. And creepy fucking dolls is one of them.
I offered to buy us Halloween dolls. You said no.
I know, because they're creepy fucking dolls.
If I can inspire a nightmare, daggone it, I'm doing horror right.
Fair enough.
I love toys. I love the idea of creepy toys. That's why I was like, this is what we have to wrap with for episode 1.
So glad
Obviously.
that I get to wait a week to fight evil.
Yay!
Just get to stew in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you just get to stew in that for a week.
I'm just gonna pull out my gun and just start fucking shooting everybody in the face.
You can try, but there are only so many bullets in that gun.
I brought
have a-
extra ammo. Who do you think I am?
Did we discuss extra ammo? Would you like to spend a spark to have extra ammo?
Oh, bullshit. Anyway, so thank you all for joining us. We actually had a really good group of people pop in today. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Especially Jenna for popping in.
Yes.
Tyner for popping in. 5 foot Latina. Thank you for joining us. It's
Yeah.
nice to be able to chat with you, like, other than just making jokes about what's happening on the screen of everyone else playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you everybody for popping in. We will be continuing this next week. Thank you, Mal. This is
Oh, thanks.
This
Thank
is-
you all.
friggin' great. I am absolutely loving
having
this
fun.
right now.
I'm so glad y'all like it.
Yeah, this is fabulous. But yeah, so we will see everybody next week.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Yeah, no, we're Dark Thursday. It's Thanksgiving. Yes, we'll see everybody next
we'll
week.
see everybody next week because we've got Thanksgiving this week. So no Avernus. But next week we will not
Yeah.
only have Everyone's Forgotten, we will also have more Avernus for you. And hopefully we will have our lovely Naeem back.
Yeah.
We will hopefully get our lovely Cora back with us. And we'll all be back together for an adventure. But until then, you're welcome. We'll leave you with creepy fucking dolls because
Yay,
Mallory.
dolls.
Because of Mallory. But we
I
will,
love creepy dolls. I don't see what's wrong with this.
Jesus. I will close us out with the trailer, and then we will see all of you next week. So thank you for tuning in.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you for watching this later.
Bye.
Share, subscribe, follow,
Woo!
all of
Do
the
all
things
the
that you're
things.
supposed to do. I'm not a good influencer.
We're
so
not
it's
good at
just-
social media.
just gay finger guns. You're all welcome. Just all of the bisexual finger guns. All right. So have a good night.
Good
and
night.
We will see you soon. Bye.
Night.
Bye, y'all.